Hey everybody, welcome to Hold the Mic. I am
What
your
up,
host.
though?
This is my other host, Ian.
I'm excited today.
I know. Let me turn off my fan so that all the people listening to the podcast don't hear.
Ryan, man, happy Friday.
I know, man.
Let
It
the
is.
games begin.
I know. I've been waiting for this all week, and as you can see from the outline, yeah, I'm ready to go.
Yo, it's busy. This outline
It
is
is.
busy. In
It
the best
is.
way possible.
But we've got good information, and as always, I'm sure it'll spark some quality conversation. And speaking of quality conversation, we have a special guest with us this week for you guys.
We do.
And I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am. So, without further ado, I want to introduce you to Robbie Sherman, who is
Big
my
bro,
boy from
get
back
over here,
in the
man.
day.
Hello.
So we got the whole family here together today almost.
Man, we got the family together.
We're missing a few sisters, but
Hey,
we're
we
good,
can't.
man.
The screen's not big enough for the whole family.
They're
Okay?
the better singers.
the podcast isn't big enough for the whole family. Dude, it is so good to see you both, man.
Likewise, I'm so happy to be here.
What up,
Do you
though?
remember the last time that you and I saw each other, Rob?
Was it the reunion?
No, we didn't have
No,
the
'cause you-
reunion.
We had one in 2010,
Yeah, no, I didn't make that one.
and you didn't make that one. And then, so if not that, then maybe graduation?
No. California, LA. You forgot.
Oh, wow.
I forgot.
You forgot. And you want to know why
Allie.
he forgot, Ian? Let me tell you
Why?
why he forgot. Because we got a gallon-sized thing of vodka and decided it would be a good idea to drink that.
Oh.
I don't remember how
were we
much of
20?
it we
How old
drank.
Were we?
What was that?
How old were we? What year was this?
We were not of age.
First off, stop incriminating.
Oh shit!
Incriminating, all right.
The statute of limitations way past.
That's hysterical. All right, so
We were.
So
I think
wait.
we were
Was
19.
Miss Buffett
I
there?
think
19.
I think we were
That was
19
2001.
because we had already graduated, and you were out there. If I remember correctly, you were out there. You were working for somebody.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
a
know if it was a
mentor of mine.
director or something like that. Yeah, you
Yeah.
you had like an internship or something like
Yeah,
that, and
yeah.
and you found out I was out there, and you're like, hey man, let's get together.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was such a crazy time in my life because okay, so then I had just started school as well. So it was just I was
Yep.
meeting all new people.
That's when you were driving Ducky.
I was driving Ducky. I bought this car for
Ryan knows.
$600 at the police auction. It had no
And
paint
he
on it.
told
It
me
was-
that story too.
Oh my god, it was great.
I love Ducky, man. Ducky was a beast. I
Oh.
said, I don't think this thing works unless you get out and push
I
it.
mean, I had so many times it had break
I
down.
felt
on
like the
405.
Flintstones. I
It
felt like the
was-
Flintstones. I was like, just get rid of the bottom. Let's just get our feet kicking. Let's just go.
There
Let's
was
get
there was one time because there was a tail light out all the time, but
All
the
the
police
time.
pulled me over, and so I went to school
just
for,
to ask if you're okay.
Well, he felt bad for me. He felt bad for me after he saw what was inside, and because I went to school for theater, right? It was a theater conservatory, or conservatory for theater arts, and
Stay
I
a
had
little
all
closer
of
to the
this-
mic, Robbie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries.
And I had all of this, all of this like rehearsal clothes and stuff I was sewing and stuff because it was just a complete school of everything you need to learn about theater. And so he saw all this clothes in my back in my trunk, and he asked me because he asked me to open the trunk as well. He's like, "Do you live in your car, young man?"
Oh,
And I was like, "I don't. I'm sorry. I just have this crap car, and I'm in school, and I'm trying to get home."
How
He wrote me
dare
a ticket
you.
and just says, "Get this fixed in a week." Yeah, but he was just like, "I might not give you a ticket if you don't have a home." I should have
yeah,
played that card.
exactly.
You should have
You're
played
like,
that
yeah,
card.
exactly. Should be like, you
But
know
I'm
what?
an
On
honest
second
person.
thought,
Well, that's where you messed up.
I'm an honest person.
That's where your
That
mama
is
lied
true.
to you, boy. Your mama
And
lied
as
to
I
you.
didn't have to pay the ticket as long as I got,
It was
which
a
cost
summons.
more. It was
Yeah,
summons,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
and
it cost more.
California's crazy with that stuff. My other friend James, he used to get fix-it tickets all the time.
All the
And
time.
it was always for the
Fix-it
stupidest
Fix-it
stuff.
ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was
yeah.
always stupid.
Yeah. Oh my
So-
God, Ducky
So
just
good.
died on the side of the
Ducky.
road, man.
That shit, I literally saw him, Ryan, when I tell you, and I was like, bro, here's some money in my pocket. It's all you. I'll see you at Christmas. I straight up, I was like, you need this more than I do. I was like, I got you, man.
Man, that was a hard time in my life.
Yeah, man.
I would never change it for the world. It was a
No,
great
it was so much
experience.
fun though. It was
It's
Yeah.
the struggle. It's the struggle. You know, it's the
Yeah.
struggle that gets us to where we
Yeah.
are. Like, I didn't join the military until 2 years after that. You know,
Oh,
I was,
all right.
yep.
So you were like 21, 22 at that time?
Yeah, I was 21 when I joined. So,
Wow.
I was still trying to, figure out what the hell I was doing. And the
Yeah.
reason funny enough, I ended up in the Air Force because, well, my dad was Air Force, but I wanted to work on planes. I was actually cleaning Michael Jordan's plane in 2002, 2003, his private jet. He actually used to hangar it in Waterford. And Oprah's plane was up there too. So I used to clean both their planes. But at the time, Michael Jordan's kids were still really young, so it had like a velvet ceiling, and his
Uh-huh.
kids used to draw pictures and leave messages for us, the people that would clean the plane. So
dope.
Oh.
yeah, they were little kids. They were really cool. And the funny thing was, I only got to meet him really, really quick, like quick
That's awesome.
handshake. He was getting off of the team plane for the Wizards, and
Okay.
I got to meet him when he was getting off that plane. I never met him getting on his own plane,
Right.
but I met him coming off a team plane,
Right.
and I got to shake his hand real quick. So,
Very cool. That's a legend, man.
but that's what got me into it. Work cleaning his freaking Gulfstream is kind of
Wow.
what, getting to sit there and walk around the plane every night and see the engines and all that stuff. And then also they had its own little sheet metal shop, which is what I ended up doing.
Okay.
And so I saw that and I was like, man, I'd love to be able to put one of them things in the air, like be able to fix it.
And look at that.
And sure enough, about 6 months, year later, I was going into the Air Force and I was like, ooh, that job sounds like what I wanted to do.
All right.
And my dad told me this. He said, my dad gave me a lot of good advice, but when he found out I went in the military and after he cussed me out for being a moron and joining during a war, he said, make sure you pick a career field that will transition to something in the
Yeah.
civilian sector when you get out.
Yeah.
Smart.
He's like, he's like, the crew chief, they're going to try to sell you on that. He goes, the crew chief in the civilian sector is the guy with the yellow cones going, here, park the plane here.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, but you do something like sheet metal. He goes, you can go work on old muscle cars. You can do
Sure.
you can do HVAC. You can do anything. So
Yeah.
it's just, thankfully he gave me the right headspace going into it to select something, that
Yeah.
served me well, decades later.
Yeah, smart guy. I remember your dad, man.
Yeah, I miss him. He
Yeah.
was
Really
he was
great
always
guy.
there for the choir stuff. He
Yep.
actually loved that stuff.
Yeah.
It was fun. I always remember him coming, and he'd come to all the nights, especially the times I had the solos.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. But even with the dancing stuff, I tell the story that I
this.
kicked his ass when I was 16, and he stopped competing after that because he used to tell me that he used to crack a joke that I'd never be able to beat him, and
Your dad was a dancer too?
that's why. Okay. So y'all have got to learn something about me today. So they know that I was a dancer back when we were in high school. I started when I was like 12, 13.
An amazing dancer.
And thank you. And
Yeah.
the reason I started was because when my mom left, they had gone to an Arthur Murray's, and
Okay.
my dad was so horrible. This is the truth because I actually got to know the teacher who told him this later. Said, "You are so horrible, don't come back." Like, no
Damn.
bullshit. And so when my mom left, my dad got it in his head that he was going to go learn how to dance and win her back, which never
Okay.
happened.
Yeah.
But what it did do was it opened him up to this new world of competitive dancing. And so he was competing, but he was busy doing it all the time. So while we were in school doing, whatever, and people were doing extracurricular stuff, my dad was off dancing and learning how to, compete, and it was a lot. So he wasn't home that much. And
I
as
never knew
my
that.
brother, my brother was raising me up till I was about 12, and after he left, I needed to find something for my dad and I to do, to connect. And I'd played baseball, I'd played football, and my dad just wasn't into it. But when it came to dancing, that was just his thing. So I
That was
said,
his
you
love
know
language
what?
right there, man.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? I think I need to learn how to dance if I want to spend time with my old man. So, eventually the stars all aligned, and my first dance teacher, Joyce, she taught me for free for years. And the reason she taught me for free was because there was no other male dancers in Michigan
Yeah.
for her dance team to dance with. So I was the only male for a while, and there was like 8 women. So I had to learn how to do all the dances, and so that I could compete with each one of them in
Wow.
different dances. So my first competition was at Cobo Hall Arena. I was 13. I placed in every single dance that I did. I didn't place lower than second. And I took first in samba.
Get out of here.
Yeah, which is, out of all the dances, that was not my strongest. So that just got it all started. And my dad he thought he was better than me. But in reality, when you have a kid that starts at 12, 13 years old, it's just so much easier. Like, I was soaking up
in their bodies.
Yeah. And that too, like my body moved different. I was a young kid, but I'm just soaking up moves and information and taking lessons.
Building that muscle memory, man.
Yeah, I'm just picking it up faster than him.
Yeah.
And so, but he used to crack the joke. So finally, we go to Chicago, the Windy City Classic. And I was either 16 or 17, and I had accumulated enough points in the West Coast Swing point system that I could compete in my dad's division for the first time. So my dad, it was just like our routine. He would go up, get his number, pay for both of us, and he'd walk away. And I'd go up, fill out what I needed to, and get my number. But he just wasn't paying attention. So when I walk up, I look down at the sheet and I go, put me in his category. And and they checked my points and they're like, all right, fine.
You said I want that smoke.
So I did, and I was an asshole, seriously. So
what? What?
Yeah, well yeah, but I was an asshole to my dad, which wasn't normal. And but it pissed me off.
Be here for a Ryan rant, you'll see.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. But no, it had pissed me off, so I wanted to show him, and I go out there, literally they're calling our numbers. And I have the number after his. So they call him, then they call me, and he turns around and sees me. He's like, what are you doing? And I looked at him and I said, we're about to find out today, old man.
Whoa.
So I end up placing third, and he doesn't even make finals. And after that, he never competed again.
No.
And we never talked about it. Like, it was honestly something I didn't realize until later. But the funny thing is that even though, whatever had happened there in his mind, he was still always the first one, to grab me when I came off the floor. He was always the first one to, and if it was a shit routine, if I did something wrong, he'd just pat me on the ass, say, that's all right, the next one will be better.
And shout out to your big bro Patrick. I see he's chiming
Patrick.
in. He's laughing at the story
because he knows all these damn stories.
Oh yeah.
But but seriously, my older brother, he's 10 years older than me, so he kind of was that parental figure for me for a lot of years. And then he had to go do his thing, and then it was just me and my old man. So we had to find out what was going on, and so dancing just ended up being that connection for him and I. But then of course I fell in love with it, and it was just something that, if I'm being honest, I was so naturally good at that I didn't put as much effort into it as I should have.
Right.
And because of that, like, I see what they're doing today, and like I don't even feel like I'm in the same genre of the way they're doing, the same dance that I've been doing since I was a kid. It looks so different to me today that I'm like, yeah, I feel like I'd be going out there with somebody and they'd be like, oh, look at this old man, look at those old moves. Like,
we look like look like Justin Timberlake on stage today. Okay, there's a difference. All right, we ain't got them young legs.
That little whatever that was he tried.
Yeah, we're in our 40s now, man.
We're in our 40s. It's okay.
Bro,
I go into these auditions for Broadway, and I just went into one with all these like young kids, and they were all non-binary, and it was. I never felt like the old man on stage ever in my life until that moment. I'm like,
that man walked away like Morgan Freeman.
I'm like, why am I here? The hell am I doing? I was just like, this is so. They were in like street clothes, like they were trying to imitate the '90s.
Yeah.
All of them with like punk hair and everything. Yeah. I looked like I was going in an audition for Chicago.
You look like you got out of prison.
All black leotard.
You look like you got out of prison.
It was
looking like a Shawshank Redemption, man. Looking like Morgan Freeman. He's like, I guess I'll put my name up there, boss.
Jing-a-lang, jing-a-lang.
Jing-a-lang, jing-a-lang.
Jing-a-lang, jing-a-lang. I hated that. I almost quit this profession.
Am I cussing?
After that
Was
day.
I cussing a lot?
You might have slipped one in there. What up, Kaylin?
My apologies.
Oh,
no, it
man.
might have been me. I might have been the one swearing.
Oh,
Well, we have a swear
well,
jar.
Rob gets a pass.
Right.
Oh, is that what people are saying? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is this saying money jar filling up?
Yeah.
Yeah, we started
Oh.
a thing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We're working towards a charity, so we're gonna donate because we got we a little filthy.
Yeah, I'm trying to research now to see whose child I'll be putting through college.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right. Well, now that I know I have to censor myself, I shall do so.
Hey, yeah, drop a good one when you.
No, I mean,
someone just said it was Ryan.
Honestly, all it is we got a hit on one of our previous broadcasts, and we got age restricted. So we're just trying to be a little more cautious. Not drop 500 F-bombs in one show.
Just five necessary ones.
Yeah, one or two good ones. Sometimes a good F-bomb is it's the exclamation point on a fine talking point.
That's right,
sir.
Like caviar.
The charity is new Louis Vuittons for me.
Yeah, I just read that.
If I got you Louis Vuittons before I got my wife any, she would shoot me. But the funny thing is, I don't think she'd want to wear them unless they were comfortable.
She's not always comfortable.
Yeah, Jen isn't really the uncomfortable high heel type. Yeah.
We do this for fashion.
Yes, that's right.
Pain, that is.
Not for fun.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's never for enjoyment. There's always pain involved.
Oh, man.
So with that said, we're almost 20 minutes in and haven't even started the outline.
Oh,
so this
Hey,
is
man,
a
we're
sign
doing
of things to
exactly what
come.
we should be doing, man. We're
Yes,
doing
we are.
exactly what should have happened.
Yes,
I'm
we
glad
are.
this happened, though. I'm glad.
Oh, me too.
Rob was like, I'm coming over, and I go, well, when's the last time you saw Ryan? He goes, it's been a minute.
2002.
Yeah, it must have been 2002. Yeah, because then I moved out in 2003. I moved to Europe. Yeah, so it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I joined. You left for Europe right about the time I left for Japan.
Yeah, that's right. That is right.
Yep.
I remember we talked about that.
Yep.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Well,
there's a lot of history on this podcast.
I will say to you right now, happy Pride. So happy Pride, Rob.
Happy Pride.
Yes.
We
happy
love
Pride
you, man.
to everybody out there.
Thank
The
you.
whole community. We love you guys. Definitely.
I'm gay.
In case you didn't know.
In case you didn't know.
Which I didn't know, by the way, through high school. Just so you know.
Oh,
I had
well,
no
you could have told the
fucking
rest
clue.
of them to back off because they were mean at times. I
Were
mean,
they really?
it's not that some. Oh yeah. Some
Well,
kids
you
were
were a homecoming king, though, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
You were. There was such a large group of us that loved you. Like you were. At least from where I was sitting, I felt like you were universally loved throughout the school because you just never really. You didn't go out of your way to piss anybody off.
No.
And that's what made everybody just. Rob was one of those guys you just flock to or you're attracted to because he's not out there to piss you off. And I remember trying out in for the Pops concert and you were on the panel.
Yeah.
And I remember it sucked. And Rob comes over, he's like, well, it had moments, and it was just like the fact that you came over to kind of like let me down gently. Like I knew walking out of there was no way my name was going up on that sheet.
Yeah.
But it was just like to have a friend there just to quickly comfort you, especially knowing that you're about to watch like another 100, performances of people to try to get on stage, so it's just, I think that's why. But of course, even the most beloved people, there's a reason, especially back when we were going through school, that people didn't reveal, their true selves.
Right.
Because people were so ignorant and still are, unfortunately.
Right.
So it's like, I get it. I get why maybe you didn't feel comfortable. I don't know what you were dealing with then, but it sucks to know that there were people that we went to school with that, and they probably haven't changed much.
I think a lot of them have changed, honestly. Because I still keep up in touch with everybody because of our reunions, and I was one of the senior class.
You were on the school.
Right?
Yep.
Right, and so I had to collect everyone's information, so I had to personally get involved and talk to, literally maybe 200 people.
Yep.
out of our 297
You're like the
class.
Obamas of high school. Like,
Yeah. The Obamas.
I mean, that's kind of funny that you say it. But I never would have thought that. But
I never would have.
weren't you the president?
I was the vice president.
No, it was.
I mean,
was it Binder?
we all know
Binder's the
Rob. He's
president?
still no. We know Rob.
John
okay.
Binder was the president.
John Binder, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out John Binder, by the way. Another.
It
good
was
dude.
Rob.
Yeah,
Rob
Binder's
for
great.
president.
Binder's
It was Rob
great.
for president.
Yeah. No, John was in I think Africa. He's a doctor
Yep.
of some degree. I don't know exactly his precise profession.
Yeah,
but
following him makes me feel extremely inept as a person.
listen, I mean, there's so many.
He's one of those guys.
But it's so funny when he and I talk. I feel exactly the same way, Ryan, because I'm like, all right, Dr. Binder.
Exactly.
Anything else on the agenda? Because we have, sometimes we have meetings, and he's just like, he's so gracious, and he's like, so what are you doing right now? You're in a show? And I'm just like, I'm a clown. That's what I went to school for. I mean, literally, I either make people laugh or cry.
Yeah, compared to you, we're all clowns in a circus. I mean, it's just some of those people, man, that you look at and you just have to respect, and like you said, you have to
he's so
respect
nice.
the fact that they respect us back.
Yeah.
And that they think to ask, hey, what's that show you're in?
Yeah.
Speaking of, before we move on, what is there anything for you to plug right now? Are you in anything? Any photos out there people should go look at? Anything?
Right now, I am just auditioning again. I'm just out there hitting the road hard. I have two more.
You just did a show though. That was.
There you go. Plug your brother.
He's so modest.
He's so modest.
I swear to God.
He's
like
being
here's
very
the reality,
modest, guys.
and it's funny because it's like I'm the asshole of the family, which every family needs to have that asshole. I'm the one who actually puts everything on the block. Rob's been killing it first and foremost. You want to talk about being 40 in the best shape of your life? Like, this dude inspires me, all right? He was my bodybuilder, like my trainer for like 3 months. Best shape of my life, first and foremost. And then I decided to take a job that was like, yeah, you don't get to do all that shit.
Well,
you know what I mean? It just snatched it.
Yeah.
And then, well, family and married and all that stuff.
Right.
But I look good for my wedding, I'll say that. Thanks to this man. But when I tell you tip-top shape and he's been auditioning like crazy, when I see the hustle, when we talk about literally what the dream takes, and it's the stuff that you don't see that's behind the camera, that's behind the blood, sweat, and tears, this man right here is putting in the work. Like when I tell you like inspiration, this man is my inspiration. I'm like, and it's one of those things where you always talk about like your siblings, like you never compare yourself. I was like, this motherfucker is the unicorn. See, there it is. I dropped one good one.
Yep.
This motherfucker is the unicorn that I've been chasing.
There's two. I mean,
it's necessary for this. It's the one that I've been chasing, where it's like you gotta put in the work to this caliber, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have a story like Ducky, you ain't doing it right. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where you gotta be on your grind, where it's like you remove yourself of all precious items in your life, and you're like, I'm chasing the goal.
Yep.
And that hustle has never stopped. I've seen this man go from country to country, living his best life. When I first moved to New York, he was on every taxi cab I saw. And you want to tell me what kind of like mind-boggling thought goes through when you just get in, wet behind the ears, like, I graduated and I'm here to make it in the big city. And then your brother's on every billboard and every taxi going by.
Try walking into Verizon stores. I remember walking into Verizon stores and seeing you up on the freaking wall. I'm like,
I had to go get my phone, and I saw him, and I go, I can't get away from you. Like, I can't get away from you.
That was a wild time. That was great.
It's amazing, and it's really interesting because I really have always told Rob that like he's had this really fun career of like different stages, right? He got to do the theater, he got to do the modeling, you got to do all these things. I'm talking like you're not here. Got to do all these things of modeling and just this beautiful.
Wasn't there a book? Uh-oh.
And something, we have a storm happening here, so we might lose you from time to time. It is.
I'll be
around.
ready. I'll be ready to tap dance.
Take off. Just take off.
But didn't you do a book too, Rob? Like an illustrated book?
It's funny. I wrote a novel. It took me 10 years to finish in its completion. I still need like another editor, just to help me finish this last part. I'm working on it. I'm working on the sequel as well, but it's just taking a little too long. I was just thinking about it the other day, just to myself. Am I even gonna go further with this? Because there's so much going on, and there's so much I'm trying to do. And now that I signed with this really great agency about 3 years ago, they're just slamming me with the most awesome auditions you can imagine. I'm talking about like Law and Order, movie after movie. I'm up for 2 Broadway shows right now. It's all, they're awesome. Yep. So I gotta find some time. I am talking to an editor about it, but the book it's not going anywhere, but it's definitely hasn't moved.
But here's the thing that you got to give yourself a lot of credit. Yeah. Not only did he write this novel, he did all the illustrations.
Yeah.
Like my man literally started doing all of the work, and he would. When I tell you like the passion of him, like sending pictures. What do you think of this?
That's why I remember it.
Oh, it's his level of creativity is it knows no bounds, you know, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
Thank you, gentlemen. That was so complimentary. I love that.
All right, now we're done.
Well, you ain't gonna big
we're done
yourself.
talking about your ass.
Now let's talk about some real. No, but it really is. You got to big yourself up, man. You're working on stuff, you know. But this
but seriously, it's always been really cool, you know, from afar, watching the things you do, whether it's, you know, finding out you were on a Broadway show or seeing you in a Verizon store on their advertisements, or, you know, just getting to see the inside, you know, stuff that you share online with just, you know, your friends and family, and seeing how, you know, like I said, the reason I remember the book is because I thought the drawings and stuff were just pretty amazing, and I was like, wow. So, yeah, it's just really cool to see everything you do, man, and you know, happy to hear that, you know, the auditions are you know, top notch, and sounds like they're plentiful right now. So I hope that continues.
The hustle never stops, man. The hustle never stops.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you,
Killing
Ian. I love that. That made my weekend. Thank you very much. Yeah,
well,
save that for the end of the show,
dude. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
the positives are at the end of the show. Now we get into the funky stuff. That's how it works out.
Before we get into the funky stuff,
I saw what you're saying. Thank you so much. I'm gonna look into that. Thank you.
Awesome. And before we get into the funky stuff, though, and I was hesitant to say this because I don't want to try to minimize Pride Month or anything. Yeah. But it is also Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and you know, so I just want to also acknowledge that and just say, you know, if any of you men out there, you know, it's one of the reasons that I'm very open about being bipolar, because we need to normalize men coming out, telling their stories, and also just showing the world, like, guys, when we're medicated, like, this is, you know, we're fine, you know, and this is the message we need to be sending people. It's okay to go ask for help. And, you know, people going to get help actually makes them less of a burden on society and on our economy. It makes us less likely to end up on some kind of social, you know, program. So it's just, I hope, you know, that we can all start to pay a little more attention to guys when maybe they aren't feeling right. Just pay attention to the guys in your life. You know when they're not at 100%. You know, and sometimes just somebody in your life, or, you know, whether it's a friend, a loved one, just saying, hey, you okay? Sometimes that's all we need to say, you know what? No, I'm not. Yeah. And so you could be that person that gets us to say, no, we're not okay. And if you have a friend or a loved one, or just yourself that feels that way, dial 988 for the crisis hotline. That is our 911. It is better than calling 911. So if you are having a mental health episode, or someone you love is, dial 988. They will direct you to the resources you need. Yeah. So, yeah, that's all I got. You got anything?
Well said. Well said, Ryan.
I love that. I love the to reach out and speak to each other, just in general. And you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's one of the biggest things I think is just really having that open hand of making sure that your people, in however the capacity is, but just making sure, like, how are you feeling, man? What's going on? Right. You know. I think I have to say, my biggest thing is about connecting with everyone. You know.
Yeah, Ian. Yeah,
he connects everyone.
You're one of the few people that you literally reach out and you just say, "You okay?" Like, and that'll just be the text. That's it.
Yeah.
You
good? It says, "You good?
Yep.
You good? You good?"
But again, just sometimes just knowing that somebody's there that, you know, cares enough to go, hey, let me text him real quick and just see. Yeah. And it may, like I said, it may not be for any reason. You know, it's like bringing your wife flowers. By the way, guys, if you bring your wife flowers for no reason, don't only do it when you're in trouble.
Hey man, definitely give out the flowers. Definitely give out the flowers.
Same thing. Ask people if they're okay. They don't have to be, you know, losing their minds to ask if they're okay.
Yeah.
So, and with that, somebody that I hope is not okay, Steve Bannon's ass.
Man, he's going to jail.
You going to jail now, buddy?
Your ass is going to jail.
Yeah.
So he's looking.
Maybe he'll do a podcast behind bars. Maybe he'll do it.
Well, oh no, is it him that's having to liquidate everything? Yeah, it's him.
I thought it was
No. I'm sorry.
Alex Jones.
Fuckface. Yeah, Alex Jones. My bad.
Yeah.
I'm getting the douchebags confused.
Because Alex, he's not going to jail, right? He just got
He has to
sued
pay a lot of money.
He owes like 1.2 billion dollars, and they're making him liquidate everything now.
Everything.
Fabulous.
So he's gonna have to sell.
Sale.
Yeah, he's gonna have to sell
Infowars,
Infowars, all of it. Yeah, big fuck you to Alex Jones too.
Yeah.
Put one in the jar for me.
Today's the episode that we're cursing. I see it. And I want to give a special shout out to all the trolls because y'all could be anywhere in the world and y'all want to be here with us. We love you. We see you. I tip my hat to you. Happy Friday.
Yep.
Hate.
Yeah. There's some really silly people writing really ridiculous stuff. I'm getting new to this media.
Yeah.
And
Dude,
and
we may have to add Robbie to the show. This is too much fun.
Hey, I'm just telling you right now, it's like having Morgan Freeman here, and we're just showing him
old magical black man. Is that what we're going
with? Put your flip phone down. But no, so Steve Bannon, if you guys didn't know what he's going to jail for, Bannon was convicted in July of 2022 of 2 misdemeanor counts of contempt of Congress for stonewalling a subpoena from the House Select Committee investigating the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol. He is being ordered as of now to report to prison July 1st. If I was reading correctly, he does still have an appeal option at this point, but it's unclear if he is going to use it. So my question to you two is, do you think the sentence was long enough?
How long is the sentence?
4 months. He's going for 4 months.
Honestly, this contempt of court, that usually is like to scare people who've never been to jail. So honestly, for that, I do think 4 months is enough.
Was it his first conviction?
And this is
his first.
Yeah. Because these people they've never been to jail or done anything.
And it's a misdemeanor.
So. Right, exactly. I think 4 months is totally enough. I think 1 month would be enough. But I think 4 months is great for that ass.
Yeah.
That guy.
For
that man.
No, I actually agree.
Looks good
I
on
think because like you said, a month would be something that most people would go, okay, that seems reasonable.
Right, exactly.
But 4 months is almost like we're sending a message. If you don't show up, if you're not willing to show up under oath and come, speak whatever happened and answer our questions, then you're going to go to jail.
Yeah.
Because the reality is January 6th was an attempted insurrection, and we need to hold these people accountable because,
absolutely,
one of the reasons you guys all listen to this show is because we bring you these crazy stories, and it's really happening. Like Trump is really coming out saying these things. We're not making it up. It's not AI making these videos. He's really going to these rallies and saying the crazy things.
We don't live in two different worlds. We're just going right down the middle.
If I post something that's a fake AI video, it's completely by mistake. I don't purposely try to mislead anybody. Not saying it. Don't, like I said, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. Anybody that posts stuff every day on social media is going to have a post that, oops, that's not a right video. I think I had 2 this week. One was it ended up being a parody account, so I kind of look like an idiot. And then the second one was a video of this huge Trump flag being walked around the city of New York, and they had coats.
I didn't see it. You see it?
They had coats and hats on. Oh,
okay.
So no, I don't have it, but
we don't need to see it.
I'm not gonna put. But the point being is, so I put that out there. I didn't say it was recent. The Trump people were. So I was going off of what they said.
But weren't they posting stuff from Obama talking about this is Trump's?
Exactly.
Rallies.
But it turned out to be, and my thing was, is this the same people that talk about blocking traffic, and it turned out that they were actually in a parade. And they had joined up into a parade that was going through New York City, so they technically weren't blocking traffic. So just things like that, it's going to happen, and it's really about I think again one of the reasons people follow me is because I'm not afraid to say, you know what, guys, my bad, You know, that
Yeah.
I fucked that one up.
You're an honest guy.
Exactly, you know, and I think
There's
that I would
integrity
rather,
involved,
if I'm
you know?
watching somebody for news purposes, I would much rather them come out and say, "Hey, man, I messed that one up."
Totally.
But
Absolutely.
here's the real information.
Right.
That's right.
Because that builds trust.
Yeah.
Because
And
it's
shows
like,
that you're human.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
if that doesn't work, you can start hawking off, snake venom and sweating out, some dye, and have a CGI background of some type of kitchen.
No, I already
know.
figured out the back out plan, bro. If this doesn't work out for us, I'm gonna start selling dirty socks on OnlyFans.
You know what? I know a lot of these trolls would buy them, man. I know they got a hard on for you.
You like that one, Rob? Come on.
I'm telling you right now.
Get into OnlyFans.
Do you know how many trolls would actually join up just to have a taste of Ryan?
Oh,
Let me
dude.
tell you.
They
would
join
line
up
up.
just to see what the photos
Oh, yeah.
were.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
They
Well,
want a
that's
piece.
money, man.
They
I
want
should
a
start.
piece.
I should start doing some really fucking
Yeah.
weird photos. AI, give me like 20 weird
Start
ass
with
photos
your feet. You'll get 100,000 followers in a month.
in a
Wow.
month, man. So,
So
oh
good.
my God. Tell anybody in the comments. Tell me, do you want dirty socks?
Yeah, your brother's not too enthused with that one. So.
Nor should you be. So here's my last question before we move on to the next one. How many of Trump's allies do you think need to go to prison for America to understand that Trump is the criminal that they're all protecting?
Everyone that broke the law.
But do you think that
Is there?
is there any number that you think will make Trump
no.
supporters? No.
They'll spin it any way to they
they're-
are stuck in this situation.
Yeah. They're in
They
bed.
have to see it through. There's no way out.
Look, man, they
Yeah.
have to watch the comet and drink the Kool-Aid and go out. That's all this is.
Right. Yeah.
That's
there's
the
no
only
going
end
back.
game. This is the only end game.
Yeah.
There's
It's
only
either
crash
that or
and
the
burn.
bullet.
It's literally crash and burn.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
this
They're
is.
stuck because
You know.
now if this man does win, they're screwed if they win against him. So there's,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that's their fear. They're like literally battered wives.
They're
Oh,
cockle-
Is that
dude.
horrible to
They're
say?
just cockle. That's how. Just
Is that, but I mean, as bad as
that's what
They're
it really
afraid
is.
to leave
And look at it.
the
Look,
violent husband.
just like Alito, he's like, my wife's in charge. It's like, oh, look how masculine you
yeah,
are.
you
All
alpha
that
male you.
masculinity
Isn't that
you got there.
ridiculous? Like, I wonder what she thought at home.
She did it.
She's
She
like,
did it,
that
it wasn't me."
son of a bitch.
But
Could you imagine reading that? He probably didn't even tell her either. She probably
Right.
went on her phone and was like, "This motherfucker said what?"
no, man, the neighbor came out and said exactly what was going down. She was talking to him. My man was just sitting there like, idle,
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah.
not in
Yeah.
charge,
Yeah.
not in charge.
Yeah.
Again,
Blame it on the missus.
you know what I mean?
What cowards. Dude.
Either-
It
either-
is so good.
If I ever
not-
blame my wife for anything, I want you all to make fun of me mercilessly.
Okay, to be fair, Senator Menendez right over here in Jersey did the same thing. Okay, so
No, that's
Oh,
their
yeah.
strategy. That's their
I'm just
strategy.
saying though he did
No,
the same thing.
Which is wild. That's as a court reasoning,
Uh-huh.
like actually strategy that the lawyers want him to implement is blame his wife, get off, and then when his wife goes to, because she also has to face the same charges,
Yeah.
she's gonna blame him and then try to get off, and he can't be tried again. So that's their
Sure,
strategy.
sure,
Which
sure.
they're criminals. It doesn't. There's no way around it.
They're straight up criminals.
they are criminals.
Yeah, either way.
Speaking
But
of
that's
strategy, I didn't put it in the outline, but I want you real quick to run down what the issue is legally with Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis in Florida.
because it's going down. So
Oh,
okay,
right, because he's a criminal now.
well, he's a felon and he can't vote.
He
Can't
can't
have a
vote.
gun. There goes your Second Amendment, right?
Yeah.
But the governor does have the power to give clemency
Clemency too.
and wipe away this charge, this felony. And the thing is that actually they're talking about it. It's a 12-year wait, a actual 12-year wait. That's how backed up they are on this clemency for
Uh-huh.
a governor to do. So DeSantis has gone on the record saying that he's going to put Trump at the very top of that list and bypass everybody, and he's going to go ahead and reinstate him.
Of course he is.
But again, cockle. Like this is the party.
Mhm.
They are literally in a
They've been doing
position.
this shit this whole time.
Yep.
I am not surprised at all.
it's
I mean,
just
look
gotten
at
more.
That Cannon Judge Cannon. Just
Well,
so many
last
upsetting
episode-
things in Florida.
Last episode we talked about this because a lot of trolls were talking about, oh well, New York, it's too liberal, this and that. It's a corrupt, case, corrupt judge, blah blah. And I only asked a simple question: if you feel that way about this judge here in New York,
Yeah.
then are you open-minded to then say that Cannon is in the pocket of Trump.
Right.
And he's like, "You're whataboutism," and it's like, I'm not. I'm asking you an honest
It's the exact
question.
same thing.
Yeah. But they can't have the honest conversation.
The actual law, the other one is totally.
And it's the only judge he has not attacked. He has verbally attacked every single judge. He's been given gag order after gag order.
Yeah.
And
that's the key.
judge.
That's a key thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Like he has had to have gag orders put on him. Like
and broken them.
Here's my thing. I'm bipolar. If I was in that situation, I can promise you that I would be able to keep my mouth shut and let the things play out.
Right.
Like this dude is running for president of the United States, and he is completely incapable of not running his mouth to the point where you're seriously being accused of trying to intimidate a jury and influence a case. Like, dude, just sit there and shut the hell up and let your lawyers do what they're hired to do.
Yeah.
But he can't. It's something in his brain, whatever is wrong with him, his mental health. He is completely incapable of accepting, blame for anything.
Yeah.
And
he's a narcissist.
He'll never publicly admit it.
He's a classic narcissist.
He cannot control himself.
No.
He can't.
And he does not see himself in any of the light that is being painted of him.
Yeah, and I don't even think he thinks about. I mean, the man stumbles.
No, he doesn't
everywhere.
think about it.
Yeah, it's just.
But
blah, 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 blah.
But you guys know. So
stupid.
true, though. So true. But you want to know who can control himself? Joe freaking Biden.
Yes, he can.
Yo, man.
Yes, he can.
And
I love the work. I don't love the photo, but I love the work.
The photo's horrible. Like
a lifetime
seriously.
of servitude to the country. He is a good man.
That's the key right there, Rob.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is not a good man.
He is not a good man.
He has proven himself to not just be a poor human being, but he's proven himself to be a poor leader. And we are at a time in our country where we need not just a president, but an administration that can handle what's currently going on.
It's interesting how people put so much on Biden where they're like, well, he's not in charge. It's like being the boss, being in charge only really functions well when you have a solid team.
Yes.
And when you talk about Trump had the best people around, and then you look at COVID happened, and you saw how quickly everything just crumbled.
That's horrible.
Yep.
Like when we talk about a lot of the things of leadership,
He's trying to Sharpie the
hurricane. like when you sit back, you realize it's like we really did live like a 4 years of a Simpsons episode.
It's like
how stupid we
are
were
watching this shit. You cannot tell us this isn't happening.
No.
That's
gonna
the
go
kicker.
over here.
They want to tell us like, oh well, where did you see that? Like, right here.
We're here.
Right here. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
We are walking, breathing people,
Yeah.
thinking,
It's so
intelligent
true.
individuals.
It's so true.
Give me
It's
a
like-
break.
And the biggest thing I really want to touch on this is that Joe Biden and Donald Trump are the same age. I don't care how they operate.
Yeah.
If Joe Biden's wearing Depends, I bet you Trump is wearing Depends. Like, let's be serious.
Trump
right now.
definitely
Makeup
has
stains.
You know what I mean?
Depends.
But with
Totally.
makeup stains.
With
You know what
makeup
I mean? Yeah, for sure. For sure.
It's fucking disgusting, man. The guy is
the spray tan, like the spray
Yeah.
You want
tan
to hear
you
something
get on
crazy?
your.
I once was on Celebrity Apprentice,
No way.
and we won because I was one of the models that they used. There was 3 of us. Yeah. It was with Pierce Brosnan, this UFC fighter, Vera Wang.
How did I not know this?
Yeah, it's on my IMDb.
Oh shit.
Rob is about to get all your trolls to like him. He's like, that's one of us. He's one of us.
Oh bro, I'm cutting this shit. I'm putting it out there.
I'm sorry about that. I never met the guy. I just remembered like, I've never seen him before. I was gonna say, yeah, I hear he smells weird, but I don't know that in person.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh wait, but I have like a kind of connection to him.
That's wild.
It is
That
wild.
is crazy.
I mean, but that's so new. That's a New York story too, though. You're like,
Yeah.
you've been
Oh,
here.
and this was back in 2007, 2008. This was this was a long time ago.
Yeah.
You know, he was just a clown.
I remember when you did that.
You know, yeah, he was doing Macy's commercials like I was. I was doing it with Tommy Hilfiger. You know what I mean? Like it was a completely different time.
Wasn't he getting snapped at by
Rob, the
Aldi
way
or
you
something
just
like
said that was fucking perfect, bro. You're like, he was doing the same Macy's commercials I was doing. Shit.
Yeah. When I was a Tommy model.
Unfortunately, he was probably getting paid about 100 times more, but hey.
Everyone in my career was getting
Dick.
paid more than me. It's totally
Yeah.
understandable. Not a
Yeah.
problem.
Not upset at all.
Not upset.
Yeah,
not
not at all.
I did an ad with
No,
Messi.
no bitterness at all.
I did an ad with Messi. It was me and him in a potato bag. It was Lay's potatoes. He was getting paid $1 million for that shoot. I got $1,000. Not even a bag of potato chips.
And you had to buy the chips.
I had to buy the chips.
You had to buy the chips.
Every chip I ate. I had to put $1 in.
See, that's crazy. But you know what? That was something that the strike brought up that
Yes.
I think a lot of people weren't really aware of.
Yeah.
You know, I'm fortunate enough to have some big, movie stars and stars in TV shows interact with me, and
Yeah.
seeing, I got to DM a couple of them, and to just read what they were making,
Yeah.
and knowing what shows they're on, I'm just like, that doesn't add up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I would have thought you would be making a pretty solid paycheck, but finding out that not only do you guys don't make a solid paycheck unless you're one of the like top 1%.
A name. You have to be a name.
Yeah. But it's like you guys just don't.
You're getting like a model's day rate back when I was doing well. So that's like between $1,500 and $2,500.
But industry also
day.
changed. Like that's
Which you can't poo-poo with that either. I mean, that's a good
No,
amount.
I mean that's solid money, but
know,
I think if
But
you're
if you're
on
working like 5 days out of the month, it's tough. It can be tough.
But like, so one of the people I talked to was on Blackish.
Yeah.
And to find out what they were making, and not only that, but the money that they make on the back end of the show,
Oh,
and how
interesting.
little
The
that
royalties.
is.
wow.
Yeah.
And knowing how big that show is and was.
Yeah. Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah.
Well,
I think when we talk about cultural shows, that Blackish will end up being talked among other shows.
yeah.
Because it was a great show, and it was something that I think everybody also needed to see. It talked about great topics. The only time I didn't like it was when it got dark and they started talking about divorce. That was the only time I didn't like it.
It was really heavy then.
Yeah, it just got a little
And
too
first
heavy
show that
for
was supposed
me.
to be comedy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably for
And-
personal reasons too, but yeah, it was just
Totally.
like, I want to come laugh, and
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
it
Escape
got
that
heavy
kind
for
of-
like 3, 4, 5 episodes.
But that's always
Yeah.
been. I feel. Well, I didn't see that season of Blackish. I
Mhm.
didn't get into the show. But when you think about like just cinema in general, there's always those serious moments that happened. Good Times had it.
Yeah.
Father died.
Yeah.
Will Smith with Fresh Prince. They
Yep.
were in jail. The racism that took place.
Family Matters. The racism.
Family Matters. Yep.
Yep.
Where they put the N-word on the cop car. Or something
Yep.
Like that.
Yep. I mean,
Different
all of them
World.
have
Did you
that
say
heavy.
Different World. That one had a
And
couple
I thought
of
it
good
was
ones
different
on it.
comedy at the time.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
We weren't. I mean, it's crazy sad because I think I'm probably even farther out of touch, with that kind of stuff. I don't think I can promise you I didn't realize what I was watching.
yeah.
Like
Right. We were kids though. We were all
exactly.
kids.
We didn't.
Yeah.
There was something about the innocence of being a child that I think didn't allow us to grasp the context
Yeah.
of what we were watching.
Yeah.
And of course, as we've gotten
know-
older and we've you experienced these things and I've seen these things, it's like,
Interesting
Now
though, as
I
a
get
brown
it.
kid, I did know all of the things that they were talking about. You know what I mean? Like I 100% experienced it. I've had it done to me. I got arrested by the cops when I was 12 because I was playing hide and seek like all the
yeah.
kids in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? I've been called the N-word since 7th grade in our school.
man, I didn't know any of that, man.
Well, that's
Yeah.
because it was our mom that was doing it. But at the same
Every
time,
night
it's-
before we went to bed. Every night before
Are you
bedtime.
little? Yeah, no.
Oh
no,
my
no.
God.
She had a thing. She had a thing. You just live with it. You love your mom.
Now I have this
Hello.
visual of your sweet mother like
No, she
standing
is
over
the
the two of
sweetest
you.
woman in the world. That was Ian's
Love you,
joke,
Mom.
Just so you know,
Love you, Mom.
Yeah, definitely, because she's gonna see this.
Oh yeah.
She's
My friend. She's my friend on Facebook. She's gonna
Oh,
see
yeah.
it.
Oh, she
She's
loves you,
definitely-
Ryan.
she-
She
oh, she-
remembers you from
I know. I
prior.
love your
She
mom,
watches.
dude.
She watches this. Hey,
yeah.
I'm making mom proud. She's like, "This is a good show, Ian. That's a really
No,
good
she's
show."
always on my Facebook showing me love too. So
She does.
Yeah, man.
yeah,
She's a
does
fun
indeed.
one. Someone hit me up and they go, I met your mom and she's so intelligent and she's so well spoken and she's just so like worldly. Like she just
Yeah,
really
right.
just really grasps
Incredibly
a lot
warm,
and
too.
and she can she can really touch on topics and not be aggressive,
Right.
but just cut
Yeah.
through the noise.
Yep.
And she goes, I totally get now after meeting her how you are so articulate and how you can just
Mhm.
cut through anything, whatever tension that exists. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, Wilma Jean, she taught me a lot.
Yeah.
I soaked all that. That was in my diet every day. I love that woman.
By
It's
the way, Wilma
amazing
Jean
the
is his name
things.
for her. That's not her
Ida's
name.
name. That's what we've always.
I've never.
Wilma
But it-
Ingeborg Wimmer.
That's her real name.
Yeah. Wilma
But
Jean though.
It's amazing the things that we pull, from who raised us.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
it
Ma
really- it
Dukes
really
was
is.
no joke, man. Single mom, come on.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Held
But
it down.
before we move on to the next thing, I just wanted to reemphasize. So Biden and Macron used their D-Day event to emphasize support for Ukraine.
Yep.
Um,
Brought Zelensky in and everything.
Yep. So, if you want to go Google that and see some of the video and watch it, this is what we need from a world leader.
Oh, yeah.
We need somebody like Joe Biden who can show up and not embarrass us, not get laughed off the stage.
Not
like-
push world leaders out of the way for the camera op.
That too.
I mean, he's just a weird guy.
He really
He's
is.
such a weird dude.
Yeah.
Like the way he talks. And, yeah.
The-
I mean, like,
the-
what the hell are we
like
talking
anybody that starts doing this and keeps their arms like, come on,
I like
man.
this. This is what
and
I'm
the
all for.
dancing. Oh my god. It's like, first
Happy
off, please
Pride,
stop, because
everyone.
you're giving white
Happy
people
Pride.
everywhere an even worse name.
I don't know if I can say this, but Bill Maher does the best bit with him. He says he's jerking off two guys at once. It's my I
It
watch
is
Bill
so
Maher
good.
every
Dude,
week.
have you seen the videos?
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
people
yeah.
that do the cartoon, they
Oh,
do
yeah.
like the cartoon dicks and stuff. Oh my
It's
god,
so
whoever does
good.
those, by the way, thank you so much. You make my
Not all
days just a
heroes wear
little bit
capes.
better.
I love all types of art, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's just one of them that's up there. It's just beautiful.
God, it's good.
Oh my
The
god.
internet is a gift.
It's it's undefeated.
So
It's
to piss
undefeated.
off our haters in the comment sections even more, I'd like
Yeah.
to bring up that U.S. employers added 277,000 jobs in May.
Yeah.
America's
Isn't that cra- just keeps
employers
going up?
Yeah.
added a strong 272,000 jobs in May, accelerating from April, and a sign that companies are still confident enough in the economy to keep hiring despite persistently high interest rates. Last month's sizable job gains suggest that the economy is still growing steadily,
It is.
propelled by consumer spending on travel, entertainment, and other services. U.S.
Yeah.
airports, for example, reported near record traffic over the Memorial Day weekend. A healthy job market typically drives consumer spending, the economy's principal fuel. Though some recent signs had raised concerns about economic weakness, the May jobs report should help ease some of those fears. So what do you
man.
guys think of that?
I think Sleepy Joe's doing just fine.
Hooray.
Doing his thing right now. He's the country is doing its thing.
Better than any other country in the world.
Yep.
And that's what I was going to actually say. The fact that we are on top from a global pandemic
Yeah.
and we are doing better than any country in the world.
Yeah.
And if you're not thinking to yourself, because yes, there are hardships. There are people that are suffering right now in America.
Totally.
That's absolutely happening.
Oh, yeah.
But when you compare us to the entire globe that just came out of this pandemic and you see that we're on top, that shows you the leadership that we have right now. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't right now, Kaylin. She's telling me to look at something, but I can't because I'm live on TikTok too. So, sorry. Yeah, I just think it's the job growth is good. Our interest rate is still, it's still fluctuating. So, I'm not going to sit here and say it's great. But like I said, I really do think if you compare our recovery from COVID and over the last 2 years to most comparable countries, that we're right up there near the top.
Right
So, to sit there and try to make it sound otherwise, to make Joe Biden look bad it's just wrong. It's inaccurate.
Look, man, I don't need him in my news every single day and trying to literally take all the air out of the room.
And I don't need to hear Joe Biden
everything
with a
done.
helicopter behind him
Oh my
freaking
God,
screaming,
Those yard talks, you remember that?
Yeah, just so that everything
Like,
about
what
that
is he
man
saying? I
is
can't
ridiculous.
hear over the helicopter wash.
It's just because he doesn't want people screaming. It's just so silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, what did you say?
Huh?
It's like, turn off the helicopter, you piece of shit.
I'm telling you.
It just the whole thing about that man's administration just didn't make sense.
And a lot of them are now seeing jail time.
Oh my god.
Yes, they are.
It has not ended well.
It has not ended well.
No.
No, it hasn't.
Everything that man touches turns to caca.
Yeah.
Speaking of things not ending well,
Uh-oh.
Marjorie Taylor Greene decided to go after Anthony Fauci.
Bad butch body.
Bad butch body.
Yo, did y'all see Kelly Ripa has a shirt like that now?
I think
Does
we
she
all should have a
really?
shirt like that.
Walking around New York, homegirl got
Bleach,
caught
blonde.
walking around in that shirt. I said, this girl is crazy. I was like, go ahead, Kelly.
Oh, that's awesome.
Go
I
ahead.
had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Kelly.
You know, I mean,
America's sweetheart,
yeah,
rocking
I
that.
saw
And
what you
Jasmine
said,
Crockett, Rep. Jasmine Crockett of Texas, we love
Yeah.
you. Keep
Yeah.
doing
Love
what you're
you.
doing.
Jasmine, you doing your thing, girl.
So
And thank you
awesome.
for coming out and explaining things the way you do after the fact.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Like-
She's so entertaining.
Yeah.
She's incredibly
And
She's on point.
Truth
so
bombs,
qualified.
Yes.
It's frightening.
Yeah.
She is so
When
qualified.
you see her talk to Marjorie, and you're like, oh, fuck.
Right,
Marjorie,
this woman-
please just stop. Just-
Like-
who let her in the room?
right.
though. Like, Marjorie
She's so
Taylor Greene has a bachelor's degree in communications. Like, they are not the same. You know,
But it
Jasmine
showed-
Crockett is a freaking lawyer. Like,
I think she's with like 2 masters. I don't want to speak for her, but
I think, well, I mean, she's got her Juris Doctorate, and then I think she went and got her a master's degree in something else.
yes,
I forget what it is though. I have to
She's
look it up.
immaculate.
she's
She's
incredibly
immaculate.
intelligent.
Yeah.
I just know that much. And
Educated,
she,
intelligent, and she knows how to deliver it. But the funny thing is, all the racists are showing themselves because they try to attack her and call her ghetto, and it's like every time I see that, I'm like, oh, here we go.
right.
Because it's like you're about to find out that somebody's vernacular does not indicate whether they are ghetto or not.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like let's just throw that off the table. You know, it's just like my friend Conscious Lee. I love the way he talks because if you talk to him, you know, he has a vernacular to him.
Right.
But
yeah,
then
mean,
ask him a
Crockett's
question
Felicia
about
Rashad.
something
I'm
or
sorry.
start
Oh, yeah.
debating him about something,
yeah.
and you're gonna find out real quick that man's got a brain on him the size of a
100%.
bowling ball.
That's exactly right.
You know, so it's just we need these people out here that can deliver the message in a way that average Americans will digest it,
Yeah.
and then be able to come back the next day and look at all the people that weren't able to digest it and say, now let me explain to you what I was doing, or let
Yes.
me explain
Yeah.
to you exactly what I was saying there.
Right.
That's right.
right.
And
That's the job,
where,
actually.
that's what makes her and the ones like her so powerful.
Totally. Yeah.
She's a gift.
She is.
She's definitely going to be the leader of that party at some point. Like step in.
Oh yeah.
And you know that like liberals have like a gem that it's going to be in good hands down the road.
Yeah,
There's a handful of-
I could see her coming in after Hakeem Jeffries and being the leader of the Democratic side of the House for sure.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she has all the qualifications.
And the nice thing is too, you're seeing the women in the House back each other up, and that scares them too, because whether you agree with all of them, you know, AOC, Ayanna Pressley,
Mhm.
you know, and those ladies, they're backing each other up, and they are powerful whether you want to admit it or not.
They are powerful.
Right.
Yeah.
And
And they're all
when you
incredibly intelligent.
exactly,
Yeah.
and if they all come together the way that it looks like they're starting to, the Republican Party is going to be in some trouble.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and just look at what the GOP is doing. Their agenda is just
They don't have any.
it's a clown show.
Yeah.
It's all just showboating and posturing.
The only thing they have going for them is abortion. And how's that working out for you, fellas?
That screwed them.
How's
big
that working out for
time. And they're just hurting
Well,
so many
yeah.
people.
I'm
It
so
just
glad
sucks,
you said
man.
that. I can't believe I left that off the thing.
No, it's
So,
you know.
what state was it that they're blocking contraceptives?
Is that
Somebody's going to put it in the comments.
well no, I know that they just tried to pass a bill where they were talking
Virginia?
about it to put it on the docket of
Oh,
like
that's right.
yeah, that was actually on the Senate and
They
and
voted,
it
but
failed.
no, I think it's here in Arizona.
Is it
you
Arizona? You
guys
guys
They-
are doing a lot in Arizona.
They added it, so we're going to be voting on this election, I believe.
Wow.
So,
Man, Arizona sometimes.
No, it's interesting because
Well, now
whenever-
they're coming for Katie Hobbs too, which is
I
funny
don't know.
because, by the way, all you people that are coming for Katie Hobbs right now, do you guys not realize that she was one of the only governors, Democratic governor, or she was the only Democratic governor to sign a executive order to send people down to the border?
wow.
Like, you
Oh.
people are literally attacking somebody that's doing what you want them to freaking do.
Right.
Like, you really look stupid. The fact that you will not let anybody do anything at the border unless it helps Donald Trump shows
Right.
just how twisted you are. You are
And what did
not
Donald Trump want to happen at the border? Keep it open.
Mexico, half of Mexico to pay for it? I don't know.
No. Most recent. Keep it open. I want to talk about it at the election.
Yeah, they wanted
Yeah,
they
exactly.
wanted to do everything
Yeah.
they wanted. Yeah.
You know, Mitt Romney and several other Republicans have all come out and said that they were literally told by the party not to hand Joe Biden a win at the border.
Right.
So you guys can sit there and point the finger at Joe Biden all you want, but you have to factor in that he is being sabotaged.
That's right.
And,
Yeah,
and I will say this. I will say this because you guys know I try to stay stay fair. I don't like this tactic no matter what side of the freaking aisle you're on.
Right.
Right.
I mean, this is
So
playing
let me just
politics
make
with
that
people's
clear.
lives. This is playing politics with people's
I mean,
lives.
it already
Exactly.
screwed us in one of the Supreme Court justices. It just adds a bitter taste to the next election, and then what's
Yeah.
going to happen next. And there's a lot of tit for tat that keeps going on.
yeah.
Exactly.
And the compound effect is real.
It's
Like
just
it's really
crap,
building on
crap.
top of.
Yeah.
Yep.
So true.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is among the worst up there, and
She's a buffoon.
she is. Sean Harris, by the way, is the gentleman running against her right now. The Democrat that's
He's
running against her.
Awesome. I was watching him talk yesterday.
Sean Harris is the man. I really like him. So if you, as always, don't just take my word for it. Go research the man. If you feel comfortable after researching him and watching some of his videos to donate, please go donate, because that's how we win these elections. If you want to get people like Marjorie Taylor Greene out of office, then we need to go support people like Sean Harris when they actually come and you know put their names out there and run against somebody like her, knowing the hate he's going to take, especially as a black man.
Yeah.
We need to support candidates like him. And a friendly reminder too: you do not have to live in Georgia or Marjorie Taylor Greene's district to donate to that candidate. So go do your research. I think that if you do, you'll probably walk away being as impressed with him as I am.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very impressive.
Yep. Unlike on today's episode of Stop Making Stupid People Famous.
Love the segment.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. We have Kyle Rittenhouse this week.
Oh, right.
Rob's defeated.
This man, this whole
I was
story
like, wow,
upsets me.
I was not expecting that.
I just can't stand this guy.
That makes two of us, bro.
Yeah.
I'm infuriated that he got away with killing these other gentlemen. It's one of those things that just really upsets me, you know?
Yeah.
Every time his name comes around, I just like you just saw it. Yeah.
It's cringe.
Yeah.
It's cringe.
It's hard not to, though, right? I mean, what specifically about it? Like,
I saw the videos. I watched that man kill these other men.
Yeah.
It's horrifying. And he just walked around. He didn't even belong in that state. Everything about it is
everything about the situation.
Repulsive.
Yeah.
And he should have a shit life for the rest of his life for what he did.
Yeah.
And it's never going to get better, you know. And they can make him famous all they want. It will never. It made OJ crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Getting away with murder. And that man was ridiculous by the end
well,
of his life.
The thing is that, you know, he could play cop.
And not to compare the two.
This deranged individual can play a cop. He can play
he has
army
zero
boy.
training.
No, but that's what I mean by that is he can play in his mind of like, I can
sure.
be that. I'm gonna be.
Yeah, he's playing
he
a
will
video
never
game,
be.
right?
He's as Ryan. We talked about it. The cops
Yeah.
won't take him.
No, the
army won't take him.
That's
like,
right.
Nope.
like the things where he wanted to aspire to be.
And when he started speaking, like I'm talking about getting paid for speeches,
Oh,
Oh God.
I said, "You disrespectful son of a bitch."
Yep.
but he has been. More people have gone to those speeches and protested him, and he's walked out because he can't actually debate anybody. He can't actually.
What's there to say?
He can't enunciate. Well, he can't even put two words together.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's kind of like a dummy.
I mean, you know, his little.
He went to high school, right?
Did he?
Was
Does
he
have it?
no, he dropped out.
So there you go.
They
He's a high
did
school dropout.
Yeah, they had to have somebody take the test for him before the trial to try to make him look like he had something going for him, but he had dropped.
Oh,
He
and
went
didn't
to a
he
high
say he was going to
school,
a
then he
university?
transferred to a virtual program, then he dropped out.
That's what it is. And didn't he say he was going to a university for the court hearing, and then that university was like, he's not attending here.
Yeah,
Right?
he's tried saying that a couple universities. They're like, he's not attending here.
Yeah,
Right. And
Yeah.
who wants that name on their docket?
they're not even interested.
Exactly.
Right?
His life is going to be
So-
shiatsu.
So here's here's how I got his attention this week.
Yeah, Ryan loves this. Ryan does this all the time.
So I said Kyle Rittenhouse was in Newsweek because he called Biden gay, and then Newsweek ran the story, and then he replied and said, because Newsweek is gay. And I said, good one, Smooth Brain, proving that you're a hateful buckethead that went looking for trouble, just like I said. How does it feel knowing the majority of America thinks you're a piece of shit?
Right.
And he replied and said, Ryan, did your parents not hold you enough as a child? That was his response. So here's what I did. I said, did your parents not teach you to stay home and play Call of Duty like a normal teenager? Right. While I have you, Kyle, who took your GED test for you before the trial?
Oh.
Why did the military disqualify you? Why can't you get into college? Why do I have video of you saying you wished you had your rifle so you could shoot black people 10 days prior to the shooting?
Get out of
Do you know what intent is? Do you think punching women is okay? My father raised a decorated veteran who has maintained a secret security clearance through the government for decades, something you'll never have. Your parents raised a piece of shit killer who will never amount to anything meaningful in life.
Bam.
And now it makes sense why you kicked the hornet's nest and all these basement dwellers are sitting here in our group chat wanting to hang out with you tonight.
Oh, is that what this is about?
Oh yeah.
These Kyle Rittenhouse stands, man. They call me a pedo. They call me all sorts of things because
it cracks me up when you kick the hornet's nest with this, with this lesser of a human being. Let's just be serious.
Yeah.
Because all these little basement dwellers come out from their mom's basement.
Good for you, Ryan.
It cracks me up. It's a hilarious thing.
Yeah,
you have to push a bully back. I always say that.
Bro, I'm so glad you said that because I really wish that more liberals and Democrats would get with that mentality. Like, these people don't respond. They don't respond to court documents.
Yeah.
They don't respond to video proof.
John Stewart did a great segment on what these, all these Trump supporters and all these individuals say outside to the media.
Yeah.
And then what they have to say in the courtroom. It's a well done segment.
Yeah.
When it shows you play by play. Like it really, if you guys haven't seen it, check it out on the Daily Show. It's really phenomenal.
I love the Daily Show.
Because it's literally them talking about, oh, this is fraud, blah, blah, blah. And then they get into the court. They're like, no, Your Honor, this is not a fraud case. And it's like, when you're in court.
Yeah, you can't talk shit.
You can't be making up BS.
No.
And it's so funny because and look, Kyle Rittenhouse was not found guilty. So we have to live with that. We just are also voicing the simple opinion.
Him kill those people.
And yet the trial went the way it went, and he was not found. So we have to live with that. Just like Zimmer.
Unfortunately.
Just like Zimmer,
he
we
has
have
to live with it,
that.
and we have to. And he is shunned.
And that's the thing. As a society, they're like, I'm not messing with you.
Yes.
You are bad.
You murderer.
Yep.
You are a murderer. You are a murderer. And the thing with that, just like Zimmer, you don't go anywhere. I'm sorry, in society, you're dangerous, and people realize that.
Yeah.
But also, you were underage when this happened. You went to cross state lines. You had
your
a
mother
weapon.
dropped you off like it was fucking camp. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Like it was camp.
Say your truth.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the whole thing of the case was really interesting because he never should have had the firearm to begin with.
Never.
He purchased
and
it
I think I think Michigan did the right way. And I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Okay.
I think Michigan did the right way when they prosecuted the parents of Oxford. And I said, that's how you handle a situation. The parent is the one being held now responsible because you put them in this situation. And that's neglect. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You were supposed to be the adult in the room.
That adult woman took that child, 17 or whatever, still, with as armed as he was, and to go into the middle of a riot. Like, what kind of parent is that?
Yeah.
Didn't look like a riot when they were all posted up at a gas station.
I mean,
it looked like a protest that was just chilling for a second. And I'm sure we don't need to relitigate, the situation, but at the same time,
I'm talking about what kind of parent is that?
100%.
It's horrible.
But that's why I think that Michigan has been on the forefront of getting a lot of things right in the last decade. I'm sorry. They really have been setting. They've been setting the right.
I know. I need to go home. I was watching the
Eminem
concert. Yeah, I was watching the Eminem concert, and it made me miss home.
Yeah.
We'll be
there. But so, I want to talk real quick too. I want to show you guys this video, and then we'll talk about it.
Please.
Let me see here. Bear with me. Joe Rogan's dumbass.
So many rappers are showing support for Trump now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
because now he's got a felony.
Right.
I mean, like, now they realize also he's getting trapped by the system, just like everybody's been rapping about, being trapped by this system, this bullshit system. And you watch it happen with him.
Exactly. Yeah, I was just talking about this. It's like I don't think they were counting on the black voter being like, hey, they just fucked that guy. That's what they do to us.
Yeah, this is what they do to everybody, and they pretend they're there for you while they're letting in immigrants. So many rappers are showing support for Trump now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, black people, we love it.
I got
the
so
sneakers.
Many rappers?
No.
I don't know any rapper that is.
No.
Wait, no, there must be, like, okay, Kanye.
Kanye and Trump are beefing, first off. Because Kanye's like, you could be my VP.
Which mentally ill individual?
You got the blind leading the blind, there's two dummies.
God. It was Rob's face while he said it, though, because it was just like, well, Kanye, of course.
Yeah, yes.
Kanye, but I don't know any of these other rappers. Who's it? That's Joe Rogan, right?
Yeah.
Who is he referencing?
I don't know.
I mean,
so you could just say that. You could just say a statement like that.
Who knows? I mean, who knows?
Maybe 50,
well,
yeah,
we're gonna move on to 50.
Right, we can, but just thinking about a list of like rappers, but it's like, but who are rappers right now? They literally rappers today are like the big-haired rock bands of the 80s. Like there's no substance in hip hop right now, unless you're bringing caliber of like Kendrick Lamar, and I promise you,
or
Kendrick
Frank Ocean,
not
voting for Trump.
There's a few. Yeah.
But we know there
are a few. Yeah, there's blacks for Trump too, which
I'm
is
sure if they have
ridiculous
like
to say out loud.
No, I just meant there's a few good rappers right now. Is what I meant.
Yeah. There's a few.
No, there ain't no good Trump supporters, bro.
No. There's a few. I mean, you think about who's like in bed with him. It's it's Kid Rock. It's like
Kid Rock.
That's it. And he's
not a rapper.
He's not an artist. It is what it is.
No, he looks like he smells.
He looks like how he smells.
He looks like exactly.
So
something like beer, like old beer and seaweed, like
and cigarettes.
So I want to read this out for the podcast listeners.
What's up?
So I want to read this out for the podcast listeners.
Yeah.
This is what Joe Rogan really thinks about Black Americans. He thinks you can finally relate to the billionaire who pisses in gold toilets and sexually assaults 13-year-old girls because he's being held accountable by our justice system. Shouldn't this be the other way around? I think the black community would be happy to see a rich white man getting the same treatment as they and their loved ones have for centuries. Remind me again what Trump said about the wrongly convicted Central Park 5?
Right.
Donald Trump is a convicted felon and sexual abuser. He has been caught on tape confirming as much. I keep wanting to like Tony Hinchcliffe. Then he reminds me that he's just another Rogan and Dana White cum guzzler. If you're voting for Trump, you are sincerely among the dumbest people in America. Like, you people should have to take a civics and IQ test before being allowed to vote. Stop making stupid people famous.
Yes.
Wow.
You're here.
Wow.
Stop making stupid people famous.
Oh, yeah.
So,
that's one of our favorite segments.
That should be like a bumper sticker.
It's a big ass bumper sticker, man. It's the whole back. It's the whole back of the truck.
You can fit that on Baby on Board. Get out of here.
Yeah, the whole
Stop
back window.
Yes.
You sure could.
I'm so tired of these people.
Yeah.
Especially, like, why does Joe Rogan have a $250 million contract with Spotify? Like, Spotify, seriously? Like, have you taken you need to take a good look at the crap you're amplifying by giving this dude $250 million.
Yeah.
Like,
is he that popular? Well, there's a lot of people like him.
Oh, he's popular.
He had a Spotify deal that solidified him. But he's been doing it forever. I mean, he was a game show host. He was whatever.
Was he a game show host?
He did one of those.
Yeah.
Right?
No. What was it? Fear Factor.
Fear Factor.
Making all
That's
the people
him.
with cockroaches and shit.
That is him.
When he had hair.
I remember him. Yeah. Oh my.
He still didn't have much hair then either.
No. It was Fear Factor. It was running.
I was afraid.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
You brought it back.
Chotch.
So, but speaking of hip hop, your boy might have fucked up. So I might be beefing with 50 Cent.
Hey man, he got shot 9 times. That's all I know. So you might want to be careful.
It's funny because I took this.
Was about. I got shot 9 times. Okay.
I grabbed this article and I went in and told my wife about it, and she instantly said, "No, look." She's like, "You go after enough people." She's like, "There are certain people that are off limits." She's like, "Among them are 50 Cent, Eminem, and Kendrick Lamar."
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh yeah.
Like, My wife was having none of it. She's like,
But keep in mind that Eminem is a beast and he hates Donald Trump.
well, so let's get into it. So to be fair, so 50 Cent was up at the Capitol and he was taking photos with everybody. So it wasn't like he was just walking around taking photos with only Republicans and only Lauren Boebert.
Yeah.
So, I just have to be fair here.
That's fair.
That said, the dude didn't have to tweet this out and say Lauren Boebert, Colorado Republican, making the White House look good.
It just shows you the level of
Maybe he wanted a hand job.
Somebody said that they posted the photo and that's what they actually said, something like, what a hand job from Lauren Boebert costs.
Yes.
That was what they
That was
captioned the
better
video
than
with. I was that was good. But
that is
so
spot on.
this article happened to take a screenshot of my reply to 50 Cent.
Love it.
Where I said that, does Eminem know you support pieces of shit like Lauren Boebert and the MAGA party? You voting for the felon and rapist Trump too? What a disappointment. This is why I'll never be rich. I couldn't make nice with trash like Boebert. Why is it always when I reply to somebody like 50 Cent, somebody goes, you know what? I think I'm going to screenshot that and write an article about it.
Because you have listeners, my friend.
You
And you are popular.
You
Well,
definitely like to kick some rocks over, and
that's why I have a following though. Like nobody followed me when I came out and said, "Oh, gee whiz, here's what's in the news today." Like you have to grab their attention.
Let's all hold hand, kumbaya, and let's just talk about our feelings. No, that's not Ryan. Ryan has a Ryan rant, and he lets you know about it.
That's right.
But I wish more people that were in the public eye would do that. Like,
Totally.
I think people wouldn't be surprised, but I really this is me.
Yeah.
I hit the live button and this is me. And,
we always talk about this because we had science class together. We're always like, this has been us in science class.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were always like this.
Yep.
Yeah, Ryan, you're great. Don't ever change, my friend.
Oh, thank you, brother.
You got it.
But it really is, it's nice to know that people respond to who you are authentically.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the people who, when they turn the camera on, they're somebody completely different than who they are, in their normal life.
Yeah.
Because that's got to be a tough thing to balance, I would imagine. You got to turn it on, turn it off.
The duality.
It's acting.
Yeah.
Right.
Method acting.
But to do that every single day and have that be your entire,
sounds
platform,
exhausting.
Yeah, it would be exhausting. And
it's the kind of shit that gets you sick in life. You know?
Yeah. So
or you start getting angry and mad and mean and you don't know why and you're just like, I'm just so frustrated and I just can't quite put my finger on it. You know what I mean?
Do you ever feel like, maybe like a crisis or an identity crisis because of it? Like going through, dealing with acting or dealing with, just.
I'm of the elk where the mindset where it's a job. It literally is a job. You're paid to do a job. You bring that character to life. You have fun with it. It's on stage. I'm the kind of actor where when I'm on stage, I'm the character, and then the second I'm off, we're just joking behind stage, or playing a game. And the second you're on, you turn it on. I mean, it is like flowing water for me.
When you did Ragtime, that was amazing.
But again,
I love seeing that.
Yeah, thank you.
That was really, Rob did an amazing job in Ragtime. I wasn't really hoping for that to go to Broadway.
When
I saw that show, it was one of those things, Ryan, just in general, of seeing the seriousness that was necessarily needed, like what was needed for that scene.
Yeah.
But then to see Rob after the show, it's like it's like, oh, there's my brother.
It's a whole different person.
Yeah. And it's funny though, because again, going back to being in school together, you were always like that.
Yeah.
You really were. Like we'd be if we were in choir or we were doing one of the shows, the plays, like you were always goofing around, backstage. But then, and I'm not kidding. I've literally watched you do it. You'd be laughing, joking with us, and then literally as you're getting ready to hit the stage, you can turn it off and you can go into a serious, dialogue into something heavy. Yeah. And I just, that's a talent. It really is. But you've always been that way.
Yeah. I love
it. We were always messing around in choir, man.
Yeah, always. Because you have to make it fun too. You know what I mean?
And what better place to have fun? I mean, I just always liked choir. It was one of the few places I always felt no real judgment. You know,
Yeah, it was almost like a recess class.
Kinda, you know, like, but it just like I just always remember. I have a lot of fond memories of all of our choir classes. Like, not saying we didn't work hard and stuff.
Y'all better
but,
give Miss Buffett her flowers, man.
Yeah, I mean, Miss Buffer was great. You know,
Miss
I mean,
Buffer was great.
Yeah.
We love Miss Buffer.
I mean, yeah, we had a really good teacher, and we had a lot of fun. And like I said, I have nothing but real fond memories of everybody in choir. I just always felt like out of everything I did in school, I always felt like that was the one place that was accepting that I actually looked forward to going to.
Yeah,
You know, like the people were just always
Totally agree.
cool.
Everybody was great, and everybody was from all parts of different cliques in choir.
Yes.
We had the hockey team, the
football
football
guys,
team, the wrestlers. We had the popular girls, some of the girls that were also in band,
The Wallflowers.
the orchestra, the Wallflowers. We had the theater kids, and Ryan, you and I kind of like fell into the group of all of them, and it was a modge podge of everybody, and everybody was so talented and so fun.
Oh, so many talented people.
Yeah, they were from. We had Chaldeans. We had some of the Jewish kids there. We learned all different languages in that class.
It's funny now you break it down like that. Like, that's why.
Yeah.
It was just.
Everybody had to have their guard down because we were all from different tribes, and it was just, you know, it's nothing that you would think.
And I think too for the guys, you know, like if you've never been in a choir, you know, you have your bass and you have your tenors, and it's like, I think a lot of guys when you're in high school and you're a young teenager, you know, and you're trying to find yourself, and especially back in the 90s, it was just kind of like, oh, you're in choir, you know, like it was almost as bad as being a professional dancer. But but I think because of that, when all the guys got together in the choir, like we all knew we had each other's back, you know, because we're all in the choir here together, so.
And everyone was big, like everyone was a big dude.
We had some big dudes too.
It wasn't dudes. Kevin,
yeah,
you,
it wasn't like
me, Brandon. Remember Brandon?
Brandon, yep. Kevin.
Kevin, absolutely. Well, we don't have to name him, but
yeah. You all know who you are.
You all know
we love you guys.
The audience wouldn't quite understand, so.
Yeah, I know, but it's
point well made. You know.
It's we just need serious people in Congress, and you know, I'm just not the type of person that can set aside my principles and my morals to placate to somebody just because I think it's going to get me clicks or be a good show. It's like I just can't. Like.
Yeah.
You know, I've been roasting you people for 4 years. I'm not magically gonna, you know, flip a coin now.
Yeah, I could see you being a very John Fetterman.
You know, it's so funny.
Constituents, you know what I mean?
I was laughing to him, telling him, I was like, you know, I could see you. He's like, man, I wouldn't like John Fetterman. I go, that's the best part about it. You two are like a lot alike, where you guys would just say the real truth to each other.
Exactly.
I'd be like, all right, I'll see you later on.
And I'm not trying to say you are like him, but I say in that same style.
Right.
As John is like, listen, I am so not establishment, and he really is not.
Yeah,
it's so good.
You know,
it's so good.
Keep it up.
So, I'm gonna bring that up last. I want to talk about. Wait, what happened? Did I not put that in here? Holy crap! We have a whole nother page and a half. Holy shit!
We can break some up for the next show, brother.
Oh my god!
It's all right.
Holy shit! Let me see what we're gonna cut off. Oh, but these are so good.
Save the music for next week. We'll skip that one.
All right. Because I think this one's actually pretty important. Because we've had a near miss, I think, on this show. The first social media babies are now growing up. And these are the Gen Xers who were being raised as the internet was really, you know, starting to pop off with things like TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff, and they would post everything about their child. So in this particular story that I just put up, there was a young lady in there talking about how, you know, she knows when her menstrual cycle started for the first time because her mother posted about it.
Yeah.
And people made fun of her at school for it. And, you know, there were a lot of these stories. And Gen Zers who were born between the late 90s and the early 2010s have almost never known a world without social media. As adults, they're now unraveling the effects of having their childhoods documented online. Some of them said they realized that parents were navigating new technology at the time and may not have understood the harm caused by their post. Today's parents likely have a better awareness of social media's effects on children, and the advocates hope their warnings will help provide more insight.
That's right.
Now, the reason I wanted to talk about it is like I said, I almost brought something up that I probably shouldn't have the other day.
I thought about that.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
you and Kaylin, put the brakes on, and I saw it, and luckily, and that's what I thought of when I saw it. It's like, if you look at my social media, I don't share my kids very much.
That's
Like,
right.
I was just talking to Rob before we got on, and I was like, I'll have to send you some photos of the kids because I don't post them online anymore. So it sucks. Like, I see other people post their families and stuff, and it's like, I want to share my kids with you all. Like, they're amazing, they're fun, and
Look at us just staring.
you know what I mean? But I can't, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But at the same time, maybe it was a blessing, because maybe I would have overshared and thinking, I just want to share my kids with you guys, but in reality,
Right.
I'm oversharing them. And that got me thinking about this. Something that I struggle with a lot is that what I've chosen to do for a living, being online, doing these podcasts and everything, it's created an online presence that is very black and white. Like, I'm not universally loved. You're either going to love me or you're going to hate me. And it's about 50-50.
Yeah.
That's just kind of the way politics and taking a position is. Because of that, I have inadvertently put my kids in danger. And that part, if I had to redo it, I don't know if I would do this again, or if I would do it showing my face and my real name. Because I now realize that my kids are going to have to be extra cautious because of what their dad does. And so,
But that could be so true for senators, any famous
Everybody.
person,
everybody.
Right.
Stephen Colbert. I mean, like, honestly, Ryan, I would never give up what you're doing. I think that
Oh, I'm
it's
not
really
now.
important. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is that. But all important people have that same
Oh yeah, absolutely.
potential and fear that creeps behind. But that's why we have God forbid, but a good policing system in ways, security.
And I know this is going to shock some of you people out there, but luckily the sheriff here, the Pima County Sheriff Department, has been amazing.
Right.
They got a fake call to do a wellness check on me. So they came, they showed up. I showed them the context of the video, and luckily, because not all of those instances turn out well. Luckily, mine did.
Absolutely.
I had a great sheriff. They had 2 mental health professionals there, and like I said, when they saw everything, they just kind of shook my hand, and that was the end of it. But
Right.
it's the police have been great here.
Yeah.
I feel bad sometimes wasting their time with things
Right.
that I know they can't really do anything about, but it's more about, I just want this documented, so if somebody shows up to our house, you guys knew that it was already a problem.
But that's how the system works. You have to do
You
exactly
have to
what's
document
asked.
it, and they
Yeah.
understand that, dude. Like,
Yeah.
every time I say it, I'm like, I'm so sorry you have to waste your time, filling this report out. They're like, they're always like, no, it's important. You got to do it.
Yeah.
With
So
all
um,
the
and-
bad
and
things
the-
we hear in the news.
Exactly.
the
And the
situation
Pima
that
County
happened with
Courthouse too.
Right.
Of course, I'm not going to name any judges, but they issued protective orders for the kids without
Right.
hesitation. So it's just, we definitely live in a good area in terms of law enforcement. I feel as comfortable, I think, as any person could feel
Awesome.
with law enforcement.
Yeah.
That
Right.
doesn't mean that we're not going to criticize when cops get it wrong or law enforcement gets it wrong. It's a tough job. I sure
Yeah.
as hell wouldn't want it. Every car you walk up to is a potential threat. Every house you go to, you knock on the door. It's not an easy job. I don't want anybody to ever make it sound like I think it is.
Totally.
But we still have some ways to go too. So
We have a lot of work to do. But
yes, we do. So, but yeah.
Right.
So, any thoughts on that, Ian? Besides my personal take on it?
No, I was thinking about, the whole process with it is like, your voice is so necessary, and the risk factor. I know that you do go into this thinking about the risk, and I know you and I share a lot of stuff
Yeah, we talk
privately,
about it.
and that's I think one of the biggest things is to have that outlet, because there's things that you do want to share, and you're like, And it's like, yes, you're in your tribe, but there's a reason why I don't post my kid at all. Like, and I've talked to my brother about it. You know, and it's in the whole family. Actually,
yeah, no
I was like,
I
do not want I don't even say his name in the show. I don't talk about my son.
Yeah, I think we just call him Little Man.
Yeah,
Little Man.
Yeah,
my
people
bad.
don't. You know, you're good. It's
Cut
one of
that
those
out,
things,
Ryan.
It's all good. It's not even an issue. But it's one of those things where I do not talk about him because for a number of factors where I've always been. And since he was born, I was like, he will never be online. He will make that decision for himself.
Exactly.
To join this, because we know how abusive this can be, right?
Oh,
and it's
100%.
and you have to be made of stern stuff, because you know I look at all the little clowns that you have that chase you around. Because I know when you kick a hornet's nest, and I know when we start a show.
Ian knows when it's going to be a show.
Oh, I already know, and I'm like, oh, this is game on. I live for this. So like, you guys, you crack me up with like, because you're not witty, which is like the worst part about it. I wish you were funny.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Your trolls are not funny.
Oh yeah, your trolls suck, man.
I do. I know.
Reading some of these
Look, man,
comments,
my sister is funnier than you guys. Like she be busting my chops, and I'm like, oh damn, because it hurts. It hurts. My sister goes for the jugular. Yeah. But when you look at like a lot of this, being a part of this, it's quite interesting to be a part of it. I mean, look, this is your first experience of being in a show, a podcast, and this live factor where you're seeing all these things, you know, and it's an interesting process to kind of just be a part of, and to just like engage. And it's like, yeah, we could have dialogue with somebody if there was somebody to have a dialogue with.
Worth having. If anyone said anything interesting, that was so.
You know, but at the same time,
the funny thing is too, though, with you up until this show, have been extremely hands off, and still are to a certain degree.
But I
think I've been trying to nudge you a little bit to put
not a little bit, man. Not, and you know what's funny about it, because I'm not trying
to get dig about it.
No. You've been a fire underneath me. You've kicked me in the ass, like for real. And it's one of those things where one of my closest friends, and he's in the game, and in LA, he was like, wow, like, Ian, you're moving fast. You're over here. You're putting your music on. He goes, and you're going by your real name. Yep. He goes, that's wild. I go, yeah, man, because I've always had a different alias. I've always had a stage name.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's how you should do it. You should be incognito almost, so I can live this dual life. And it's like, no, I don't need to.
Yeah, I would.
You know, I don't need to. So it's like, I
yep.
love the whole aesthetic.
So Ian has started releasing his music, and we've been talking about it for over a month, and I've been saying I'm going to figure out how to get you guys to listen to it. So if you've watched the podcast from the beginning, from the first episode, then you will hear us talk about our theme song that he had sent me originally when we first started talking about doing this show. We might have been a little ahead of ourselves with coming up with the music at the time, but you know, we had the music before we had the concept or name of the show. So I told him when we played this that he got the name wrong. This is supposed to be Ryan's theme song, or something along those lines.
Ryan's
or Shead's
rant.
Beats.
Ryan's rant, baby.
Something. But this is the song that I played for my kids and told them that this is my Shaft theme song.
Get it? I love that.
So this is an Ian Sherman original beat.
Exclusive, baby. This is what started it all with Ryan.
That's not easy. See, I was listening to it.
You were listening to it. You're kicking it. You were kicking it.
But I love the slow start to it.
Yeah.
They are. Oh, this is the perfect song for right now. It's for the fucking haters. Look at all.
You're giving them the Twitter fingers, man.
Yeah, man. Look, they even want to try to make fun of your last name.
Oh, I'm dying laughing. Rob was like,
you want to know what's funny about most of these little cowards? Is you notice that none of them have a photo, none of them have a name. Like, they're all hiding behind sock accounts.
Hiding. Cowards. Just like Alito, cowards.
Yep. And they think they're alpha males.
Yeah, hype, baby.
Look at that. You're so angry. And it's these assholes are the reason I can't share my kid online. So, whatever you do, make sure you go on Spotify and check out Ian's music. You can look him up. It's under Ian Sherman, artist, just like this.
So good.
Right? So
appreciate the love, man.
Of course, man. This is what we do.
We've been putting in the work.
But it's again, it's fun me knowing your whole history of, starting all the way from going to school down in Florida to where you are today, and just that when we started this ride, you weren't really you weren't horribly active. You weren't really trying to put anything online. No. So to see you now shifting and hopefully you're realizing what I told you, which is we're building a platform here for both of us, and you also need to take what we're doing and make it your own and build your own platform off of this, away from you and me. And I think this is the perfect step for you to do that. And next will be, creating social media accounts on all the platforms to share the music too. Which everything
is streaming on all platforms, which is quite amazing. Because I was just talking to Rob about it. Like, it's great to plug some of the stuff that he's working on and be a part of it, and then even put some music underneath it. That I'm like, oh shit! Like, I get to score my posts with my music for Rob. Like, it's like one of those things. But the fun fact of this project I'm working on, that was made for my phone. So you can say whatever you want about it.
Super
I did that off a phone, straight up. There was no being in the studio, no nothing. Like, the fact of where technology is and how I can do that from the comfort of a couch or the back of a taxi or whatever. You can't diminish my worth on any of it. Like, it's been actually a fun process.
It's just
to piece all this together. So I'm really enjoying this whole experience, and the fact that I'm pushing myself creatively, artwork, that distribution, everything is done off of one device. And
all owned by you.
And all owned by me. You know what I mean? It's like, not much can be said about a lot of trolls. You know what I mean? It's like that. You got nothing going on for you.
Speaking of, I'm going to address this one real quick.
What's up? Which one?
Hustle Steve, another little bitch hiding behind a fake account with no photo. Says, well, if he's dumb enough to bring his kids and family into his libtard nonsense, then this is the shit that happens. See, that's called victim blaming, and you're a piece of shit. So you're saying that because I'm proud of my kids, or I talk about my kids, or I talk about my family, or I talk about the fact that they're black and how you treat them like shit, that I'm bringing them into this, and that justifies what you say to me and what you do to my family. So you can kindly go fuck yourself. You're the assholes, and you're trying to justify coming at people like me because of what? Because of what I say online?
Freedom
you
of
think
speech,
it's okay
baby.
to talk about my kids, talk about me, talk about my looks, talk about my wife, talk about whatever, but you know what you never talk about? The fucking facts that I bring and the receipts that I show you. And you want to know why? Because you know that I'm fucking right. You know Donald Trump is a fucking fraud. He's a felon. He's a sexual abuser. He's an accused pedophile. He's a failure at life. And you people are going to go vote for him. And you think that I'm the fucking problem. And you think I'm the sheep. You think you're the alpha male. Like, I own you bitches. I live rent free in your fucking heads. That's why you're sitting in my fucking comment sections right now talking the shit that you fucking talk. So stay in your mommy's basement, keep engaging, because I get paid for this shit, and go fuck yourself.
Yo, Ryan, I see you, baby. I see you. Hey, that jar got that much bigger. I'm just telling you right now, man.
I'll send Kaylin my credit card number later.
Hey, see, Ryan?
And that's the funny thing. And then they sit there and they're like, oh, he's mad. He's triggered. You're right. I am triggered. You want to know why I'm fucking triggered? Because you stupid fucks are going to go vote for a felon who already tried to overthrow the government one fucking time. Like, this is insane. And I'm signing off with TikTok now because they just gave me a violation. So,
hey, I'm just telling you right now, and I love you for it. That song is definitely called Ryan Rant now.
I told you.
That song got you hyped. It got you hyped, baby.
Dude. Like, you guys are such fucking cowards, and you talk your shit from behind sock accounts. Not one of you have shown me a photo of your face, have shown me a real name. None of your accounts have identifiable information, and you all are Trump cum guzzlers.
Yeah,
every single fucking one of you. Like, seriously, you talk about cock so much because you want Trump's in your fucking ass so bad that you fucking can taste it.
Yeah. They're not real people, man. They're
No.
They're people. They're just little bitches that won't show you who they are, why they talk their shit.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was a Russian bot to be a
yeah,
you know, here to do this shit. This is their job.
It's entertaining to read.
This is their job.
It is kind of entertaining.
You know what I'm saying?
It is. It's entertaining. That's all.
But it's so good.
It's like I said, you see how many people's minds am I living rent free? Like, I've set up an apartment in this fucking uncommon senses.
Skyscraper here in New York.
And they're saying stupid shit. None of it's even.
And that's the thing. None of it's anything. And you want to know, I'm going to end this on one thing. Guys.
Wait. No, Ryan. Sherman. Ha, 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 ha.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that was such a good one.
Yeah, with a question mark. It's like, what are you doing?
Somebody said, oh, you're like a tool shed. I go, do you know I haven't heard that one since fucking 6th grade?
Right.
Like, can you please come up with something?
It's so good, man.
And I'm going to end it with this.
Yeah.
So, remember this, everybody. If somebody online is talking shit about you and they don't know you personally, don't take it personal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, these people don't know me. They don't know Ian. They don't know Rob. All they know is what I tell them.
Yep.
So, you know, all these personal attacks, like, they think they're doing something. But again, the fact that they think it's funny that people are upset that our country is being made a laughing stock. Okay, what did I miss?
No.
I was just trying to explain. He said Sherman is a Jew name. That's why it's funny.
It's like, if you have to explain your joke, you're not funny. And
yeah,
also,
exactly.
It's like
you're so
hey, Henry,
dumb, dude.
When you have to explain it, it's not funny.
It's like
what about like General Lee Sherman? You got never mind. I don't care.
Is it?
Come on, my Confederate brothers. Come on, get it together.
General Lee Scheumenboig.
Oh shit.
I mean, you got to be funny. You got to be funny with it,
man.
This
is funny.
You got to be smart.
A little bit.
Like, it's just, food. Thank you.
Ooh. Oh. Jen, wait, is that Jen?
Yes, my
Jen,
lovely.
Wait, you got it. Can Jen say what up though? Can she?
Jen, babe.
She said you got to make.
Well, let me see. She might talk. She might not come in the screen. This is Ian. This is Rob that I always tell you about, Ian's brother.
Hi.
He came into the show. Yeah, she might come and talk to you guys after the show.
That's good.
She's not gonna jump on live.
I'm in my PJs. Are you crazy?
We said love you, girl. We said love
already,
you,
man.
We said love to you. What up, Jen?
But my lovely wife, as you can see, brought me food, so she's awesome.
Love that.
That's probably also
so
her way of saying you've been on for an hour and 45 minutes. Speed it
man.
up. So real quick, we have to touch on these last two. So it takes however long it takes. Yeah. So speaking of people who I just love discrediting, you guys remember the 2000 Mules?
Oh yeah,
thing? The documentary. So the producers of the film have had to remove it from all streaming platforms and issue an apology because it turns out that the entire premise of the thing was wrong. And that the guy that they used was doing nothing wrong when he dropped multiple ballots off because he was dropping them off for his family. The conservative media company behind the book and film 2000 Mules, which alleged a widespread conspiracy by Democrats to steal the 2020 election and was embraced by former President Donald Trump, has issued an apology and said it would halt distribution of the film and remove both the film and book from its platforms. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation cleared Andrews of wrongdoing and found he was allegedly dropping off ballots for members of his family. Andrews filed a defamation lawsuit against Salem, as well as the team behind the movie, right-wing commentator Dinesh D'Souza, and the group True the Vote. Though 2000 Mules has been widely debunked by law enforcement officials and the media, including NPR, the film and book developed a widespread following among supporters and the false claim that the 2020 election was stolen. According to Andrews' lawsuit, the allegations in 2000 Mules led to violent threats against him and his family. They worry that again they will be baselessly accused of election crimes and that believers in the Mules theory may recognize and seek reprisal against them. and that they may face physical harm, the lawsuit alleged. According to the court filing in a related case, Salem settled the lawsuit brought by Andrews for an undisclosed significant amount. In the statement on its website, Salem wrote, "It was never our intent that the publication of the 2000 Mules film and book would harm Mr. Andrews. We apologize for the hurt. The inclusion of Mr. Andrews' image in the movie, book, and promotional materials have caused Mr. Andrews and his family." What the fuck you mean that you didn't mean for that to happen? You knew exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah. This was a conservative circle jerk that literally, like most of their little ventures, fall flat on their face. It's more snake venom, and they got exposed again with their pants down. That's all this is. I remember that time they were like, "Man, the 2,000 mules." They swore by this like a Bible. Like they were like, "This was the thing."
One of the people you text with.
Yes, one of the individuals, Sean McBrien. That's Sean.
You have to say his fucking name.
I said the whole damn name. Damn, there it was.
Damn, there it was.
Well, there's one troll. Put him on blast.
I got personally, I love Sean. Sean and I go back since elementary school. I know he says some really off the wall stuff and he has 5 daughters, I think now. And I'm like, for Sean, how do you say this shit and you have 5 daughters? But that's Sean. I gotta say, I do not follow or believe anything that he believes, but he's such a good father and such a good man on the side. I just have to say that.
Minus the fact that he's voting against his daughters, his
Totally,
5 daughters,
100%.
every step of the way.
Pedophile that fucks 13-year-olds who wants to fuck his own daughter. But yeah, cool. No.
Yeah.
Totally understand.
No, it's one of those things where this 2,000 Mules, it's like it was only a matter of time, right? Just like the ninja thing in Arizona. It's like
the cyber ninjas.
It
went on for almost a year, and they found not only did they not find any massive fraud, but they found more votes for Joe Biden and less for Donald Trump.
Right. Yeah, so
and they
like
ruined
45, not even much, but just still more.
And they ruined the machines, and they got sued for that as well because they can't use those anymore.
They can't because they've been.
They dropped them off at fast food parking lots. Like what?
Taco Bell or something.
You know what I mean, right?
Speaking of, can I show this? Yeah, I can show this. Give me a second here. This one's for all the haters in the comment sections right now. I want you to answer this for me.
Oh,
is this weird?
Of course it's weird.
She does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know.
Okay, Ivanka, what's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Normal response.
With your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
How would you
I weren't happily married, and her father.
My daughter Ivanka.
Yeah.
She's 6 feet tall. She's got the best body.
By the way, your daughter.
She's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of ass. Yeah. She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
It's
she's tall. She's almost 6 feet.
You going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it? She does have a very nice figure.
So,
I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
I was gonna say sex. Like, what are you talking about?
It's your daughter.
that is not a normal reaction from any father.
This is what I mean, but like he's just weird, creepy. It's just not normal, man.
But how do you vote for that? And then you're going to sit there and you're going to talk about, Joe Biden and Ashley Biden's diary that was stolen, and then they don't. And then I send them the letter that Ashley Biden wrote to the court, and they're like, well, that doesn't matter.
Right.
Okay, guys.
There's no explaining anything.
They're looking for this shit.
Yeah.
That's all.
But the problem is, you know what makes somebody a good person or a bad person? Is if when somebody presents you with new information that counters what you think you know or what you already believe.
Absolutely.
Do you have the ability to go, well, shit, I was wrong about that?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, but you're giving me a lot of credit. Like, that's not either. You have gray matter. Let me just say this: not everybody's gonna make it to the mountaintop. Okay, we already know what the situation is.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean?
Not everyone.
Yeah.
I'm sure about a handful of these trolls probably drank bleach 4 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, let's just be serious.
Yep.
Because their commander in chief.
Or vermecticillin.
Oh, the animal paste. What is it?
It's the medicine for the horse heart for worms.
Just eating a tube.
Ivermectin. I call it vermecticillin. Ivermectin.
Yo,
Thank
man.
you.
It is just so good to me. It's so good to just see how that all just kind of plays out. But it's ivermectin.
Yeah.
So good.
They
man.
call us sheep. Here's the thing, though. We all have such like different individual thinking ideas about all of these topics.
Yeah.
Right? Like we can even disagree with each other, but they are all saying the same.
It's a circle
crap.
jerk, man. It's literally point for point.
It is weird.
So let me to you, gentlemen. Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
If it was Joe Biden or even Obama, we'll go there. We'll go for the big O. That was facing 34 felon
oh Lord.
charges.
Yeah.
Would you just get in line and be like, I'm voting for this person? Or would you be like, okay, it went through the court system. These were the facts that were given.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know what? You got to lock them up.
You got to lock them up.
I mean, hold them accountable for whatever the crime is.
Yeah.
But my point of all that is,
absolutely.
Are you going to just fall in line and be like, this is an outrage? The justice system it's a two-tier justice system. You want to lock up rich people. You know what I mean?
Right. It's just such a farce. Yeah, I would absolutely not vote for the felon.
No.
And we're talking about somebody that would be Obama or Biden. You know, the crime, because here's what I find so interesting. Biden is so mischievous and ingrained in crime, and he's running all these schemes, but he's also too old and too weak and too stupid
Right, exactly.
to be charged
right.
in documents.
Right.
So which one is it?
Right.
I mean, just pick a lane. Just
Right.
give me one of them. You know what I mean? You can't have them both.
They want to
you
live
know?
both. They want to.
Yeah, they want to, but you can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
And that's the kicker.
That's like what the evangelicals are doing with Trump.
I mean,
they're trying to make these two guys into one, and you know, obviously he's only one of them.
Well, here's the situation that we're looking at
Yeah.
with what goes down for the sentencing for July 11th is that if Trump is convicted and given a jail sentence, right?
I was your wife, and I was like, who is this? And then they're like, oh, well, then you must be, and they hung up the phone.
Give me
Someone by the name of Paul Andrews, and that's the phone number.
All right, Paul Andrews, since you want to call my wife while I'm live on the show.
I think your number might have been put on the group chat.
Yeah. All right, Paul Andrews, I got your number. Why don't you pick up? Since you want to call my wife and be a little bitch.
He's not answering.
Oh, no. Well, I'll put it on the podcast that he's a little bitch that wants to call my wife.
Was he on there?
Yeah, there's people on here. Paul Andrews. Yep. Come on, pick up the phone, Paul. Don't be a little bitch.
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up
So,
yet.
Oh, so you're calling from a fucking burner number too, like a little bitch.
So that might not be a Paul Andrews. That might just be someone else's number that they used.
Yeah, and
A ghost number.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's crazy.
Everybody on the podcast knows he's a little bitch now. Wants to call my wife, but won't pick up when I call him.
All I said was, who is this? And he's like, oh, this must be you that hung up.
Y'all got my address
Don't
too.
start any shit with me. I am not the one.
So it's all just
Thank you,
scare
Just a friendly reminder that she's been deployed 3 times to the sandbox, so if you think I'm the one that you fuckers need to worry about,
Right.
you're sadly mistaken, because she's
Right.
going to be the one that puts one in your fucking head before I do.
Right.
Yeah. You know what is interesting, Ryan, and I'm sorry to say this. I'm glad that this is documented because you could see the level of abuse that you have to go through. And the fact that this is now captured on the show of the level that these trolls want to take it with you. And I have to give you a lot of credit for staying the course and for you being first a father and a husband, and putting the show to the side. You know, you're sharing your opinions and you're talking about actual court cases and actual items that are not affecting anybody in the grand scheme of their everyday life, except for the fact that you're talking about what's happening in America.
Yeah.
Yep.
And for them to try to make it so personal, even with these insults and this BS, there's nothing that they are actually offering the conversation. I would get if they were like, well, okay, so yes, he was tried for X, Y, and Z, and they actually try to bring some type of substance to the conversation. But they have none of that. You're talking about the bottom of the barrel individuals who, you know, did America forget you? Is that why you guys are so bitter? And in these chats, do you know what I mean?
So,
Are they...
just real quick, let me ask you something, Henry. When you say stupid shit like that, somebody just called my wife because they don't agree with me to intimidate us. And you're surprised that somebody would be mad about that? Serious question. See, y'all are a bunch of little bitches at the end of the day. You guys know where I live. You guys have my phone numbers. You guys have my email addresses. So at the end of the day, if you want to feel froggy, fucking show up. Because I promise you, you ain't leaving. I've got a camera in my garage so that the minute I open up the garage and I have my safe door to hide behind, that I can put one in you, and that'll be it. And it'll be on camera for everybody to see. Law enforcement knows I'm having issues. I've already called them and let them know. So when I have to fucking kill somebody that shows up to my house, this is all going to be well documented. So if you want to be that person, go ahead. But I hope you see by the look on my face and the calmness in my voice that I'm not fucking around. That's your warning. With that, let's move on to the positives. What was your positive for the week?
You looking right at it, man.
You know what?
I got my big bro here.
I think that might be my positive for the week too.
I got my big bro here. You know what I'm saying? It is amazing to have to see him. My positive is this: it's amazing to go pick up my son, little man, and have this big uncle right here to be in his space and to see how they.
I'm sorry. You know what? You're right. Clip that, because it's premeditated. I'm premeditatedly telling you that I will defend my home, I will defend my family, I will defend my kids.
Isn't that the
If you
Second
show
Amendment?
up here looking for trouble, because here's the thing, I just showed up to talk isn't going to be an excuse here.
Right.
So if you show up to my home, you are a threat. I have publicly let you know what my intentions are. So you want to call it premeditated, I call it a fucking warning and a promise.
Yeah.
So screenshot it, record it, send it to your law enforcement. I don't give a fuck. Because you guys are playing stupid ass games and you're going to fuck around and find out. You guys all worship Kyle Rittenhouse. You think him showing up to another state with a firearm he purchased illegally, you worship that fuck? But you're going to come at somebody like me? Yeah, show up to my house. I'll show you what self-defense looks like.
That's real. That's 100%.
And also, they're probably like 400-pound dudes that can't get up. So
yeah,
I
he's
don't
probably
think...
a fat fuck that.
Exactly. There's no
by
way
the time he got to the
over.
Fucking door.
It wouldn't happen.
He doesn't need any bulletproof vest because he's fat as fuck. They wouldn't go through. And look at this. Look at this little bitch, Henry. I live in SoCal. Oh, big deal. You know how big SoCal is? Put your fucking name in the chat. Put where you fucking live.
I got you, Kaylin. Yo, Kaylin was trying to warn you about Homeboy and his BS. That's what she was trying to tell you. When she said check your phone, that was what that was.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't.
Yeah. But Kaylin, you'll get my number. You can text me next time in the future.
Yeah, I'll give her your number.
So.
This is every day for me. Like,
yeah.
This is literally every day for me. And like you guys said, what makes my wife amazing is that when shit like this happens, she says kind of what you said, Rob. You know, what she says, imagine the shit the Obamas had to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that, while it shouldn't have to be that way, you know, it does kind of give me some, you know, I don't know if context is the right word, but perspective.
Sure.
Of, you know, yeah, this sucks, but, you know, we can defend ourselves. And, you know, we know what's going on. You know, we always have our heads on a swivel. So,
right.
You know, it is what it is. I wish I could have security like the Obamas do, but
yeah, it's all just a mind scare bullshit tactic.
It's all to intimidate. Like I said, I would take it a little more seriously if they had the balls to like use their name, put their face out there like I do, but they don't.
They don't.
No,
they don't.
I'm going to enjoy my pizza, and on top of Rob being on the show, which I hope you'll come back again. For sure.
Yeah, man, it's a really gift. This is a gift.
Seriously, dude, I'm not kidding. I hope you come back. And even if you have to come back virtually, like, there's a third box. Always welcome for you.
Always a third box, baby. Always a third box.
Sounds Awesome.
Yeah, man.
I will definitely take you up on it, guys. This was the highlight of my week as well.
Mine too, man.
This is a positive. I knew this would be the right feel for everybody. You know what I mean?
It was,
minus the trolls. And look, clearly this episode is not going to be monetized. So fuck them, fuck them, fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck you. Fuck your mama. Fuck your grandpappy. Fuck the people you came from. Your mama sort of swallowed you. Look, fuck them. All right, I'm just telling you right now.
Some of these people are the perfect argument for why abortions should not only be available, but sometimes mandatory.
This is why we're pro-choice.
And listen, I mean, trolls are amply named for that. Exactly. They're just
so, on top of Rob being on the show, my positive was going to be that our daughter got her ears pierced finally. So she's 10.
Yay.
And we waited because we wanted her to make the choice.
Yeah.
And it was just something, I don't know what made us think of it a long time ago, because Jen wanted to get them pierced when she was like a baby. And I just, for some reason, was like, why don't you wait and just let her make the decision?
Yeah.
And on top of it, it's like it's just something else to get. What?
Nothing. Just saying that since he wants to call me, you can let him know that you have his wife information and you can call her. Oh. He wants to play games. I'm not the one.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So you're in San Pedro, California.
I don't know if that's actually him.
Oh, he said he was in SoCal.
So he is the one that called?
Yep. So
tell his bitch ass, don't call me. You want to call me and hang up the phone like we in fucking high school? I am not the one.
Don't play on my phone.
You want to be an adult? Fucking have a conversation with somebody. Don't act like a goddamn child.
So Ryan, real quick.
Bitch boy Paul Andrews, age 41, in San Pedro, California. Previous location, Auburn, California. Relatives. I'm not going to call up your relatives. But yeah, I've got your number, bitch. I've also got your Gmail and your AOL email address. So.
Someone got sloppy.
And guess what? I'm coming to Southern California in July.
That's game on right there, boy. Real quick, Ryan. Kaylin wants you to know. She says that I have your back though. Give me that phone number, the name, and I will run it through my system. Tell him.
I'm the two, Ian.
It keeps moving.
Yeah.
Tell him that too, Ian. Ryan knows what she has access to. So. It's not glitching, but it's rolling around. Right. Pretty much, Kaylin got you. Give her the shit.
How stupid are you people to fuck with two vets? Like, what do you think is going to happen?
Right. I don't understand why they would. But like I said, they don't seem to be really thinking people,
No,
like
they're not very bright.
People. Yeah.
Ryan, Sherman, ha.
It's just so stupid.
It's because it sounds.
Well, you know what, dude?
That's
I'll tell you what. I'm not gonna call your wife because I've got better things to do, like go spend time with my family. So with that said, my other family, Rob and Ian, and your sisters, by the way, they've always been awesome too.
Hey man,
so
a
shout out to Sherman sisters.
Big sis, big and little sis.
Yeah, man. I mean, they were always nice to me. So.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They weren't nice to everybody. I'll tell you that right now.
They're still back in Oakland County.
Yep, good people.
Great.
Yep, they're still back home in Michigan, which we all need to. Dude, I'm telling you, we all need to get together and go back home at the same time.
That's called a barbecue, and you already know we're doing the Detroit slide. All right, you just know that right now.
Yeah.
We're doing that. Your kids will be introduced to the Detroit slide. That's all I gotta say.
For sure.
That's what that is.
And tell your daughter.
And I'm gonna make sure I bring our medical insurance card with us.
No, man, that's the best part.
You don't know if you're gonna make it to the bottom.
You don't know if you're gonna make it. You don't know. That you panic mode, man. You gotta just
hang on to that potato sack and pray for the best.
and so we have a family group chat, and it literally became the debate. They were they're like, okay, is it a potato sack or is it a rug? And it's hilarious to see.
Yeah,
potato sack.
People remember.
It's a potato sack. It's burlap material, right?
Yeah, it's burlap.
Potato sack. And it's either you can sit on top or you can get inside. And it's like my brother was like, one of our brothers was just like, no, man, it was a rug. And it's like, it was a burlap sack. And you could either sit on, we know you're not that bright. You could either sit on top or you could get inside. I thought it was a rug too, though.
But I thought it was a burlap rug. I was like, I didn't know.
See, now I remember that it had like a place to put your feet. Like like a curl. Like,
even as a rug, it had that curl.
Yeah, and you could. Yep. Yeah.
Because you could ride it as a rug, like
Yep.
you know,
Totally.
like you were
That's
like
how I looked at
Aladdin,
it.
like
That's
you
how
were
it
like
was,
Aladdin,
yeah.
or you got inside it. But it was like, yeah, it was one of those things,
And
man.
God
So we-
forbid you go get airborne and you pull it out from underneath you.
you know that hot metal under
That
the sun.
hot,
Oh
burning
my
metal.
God.
Telling you. Yeah, you don't ride it in shorts.
No.
That's asking for trouble.
I'm never gonna go on that thing again.
Oh man, I think I'll do.
I'll
it
watch my
once in
kids.
life.
I'll watch my kids hurt themselves on it though.
I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do it one more
bounce
time.
back easy.
That's
You know, I do not.
Not that anymore, bro.
40s, them 40
Not
knees.
anymore, yeah,
you know
right.
it hurts. It's so good.
Oh shit! No, seriously,
Ryan.
Rob. I hope you do come join us again for another Friday, man. It was so freaking good to see you. I can't believe it's been freaking over 20 years.
Over
so
20 years?
yeah.
Yeah, I have my 20-year anniversary here in New York on the 16th of this month.
Oh wow.
And, but can I just say one thing? Why is it that you two assholes look almost exactly the same as when we graduated, and I look like I'm aging like fucking Winston Churchill? Can you guys answer that shit for me?
I
good
dip myself in the pool every year.
Yeah, you fucking vampire.
You know, hey man, I'm going kayaking in the East River. That's what it is. It's that ugly, nasty bubble water. That's what's keeping me looking young. That's it. Like an
It's
idiot.
keeping you in like formaldehyde. Just.
I'm gonna look like the Toxic Crusader or whatever that is.
Oh, by the way, Rob, if he
Toxic Avengers, like
when
like
he does
figure.
that, when he does his thing, I'm coming out there to film it.
Oh, we're already started. We already started, man. Actually, I'm about to get my son to go kayaking with me.
Yeah, but whenever you decide to go all the way around the island, I'm coming for that.
I am literally aiming to get that done in like late summer.
Man, you better be careful.
Well, you gotta tell me so I can buy a fucking ticket.
We'll talk, but when I tell you guys that it's like legit, like I've already been networking with a number of people who are also building a camp to do this, and like it's gonna be a pack of us.
Dude,
so we're actually it's about to be a thing.
It's
about to
big
be
thing
dope.
in Seattle.
I mean,
and
yeah,
Washington.
you have a podcast. Of course, it would need to be documented.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where they have kayakers that go out there and even protest, but
yeah, but well, this is not
they
a
do
races.
races.
Well, we're gonna need a motorboat for me to be on. Like, I'm gonna need a boat with motor.
Hey.
Yeah, right.
I'm telling you right now.
But that's
I ain't keeping. There's no way I'm keeping up with Ian. I can tell you that.
And you know, it's so funny. I told one guy, I was
It's
like, I'm
easy.
trying to stay. I
It's
was like, I'm trying to
easy.
get in shape, and my man was like, you're already in shape to be doing this. I was like, and he looked like, you know, he was a bigger dude.
Yeah.
I was just like, no, I'm trying to get in like
athlete shape.
Yeah, I don't want to be dying halfway through. Yeah.
no, hell no.
Right.
But I tell you, man, that current is no joke, and that's why I've been training. I've been going against the current to train for this. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to get ready, and I feel it. It's a great
That's an awesome
feel.
workout.
So
And he has inspirational music for you to listen to on Spotify and all your favorite streaming platforms for you to get hyped
Bro.
to for whatever you're doing. And
Absolutely.
with that, I will leave you as I always do and say whatever you got going on out there, please remember to stay safe. None of the shit that is going on in the world right now is worth a human life, and it's not worth you showing up to my house. So let's just all keep it where it's supposed to be, and let's stay focused on the issues we have at hand. I'm quite happy that we have a president and an administration right now who is representing America on not just here but also abroad on the international stage. It's nice not being a laughing stock, and I look forward to another 4 years of sane leadership from the Liberal Party moving forward. And with that, Ian, you got anything else, bro?
yeah, man. Hey, all you haters, have a beautiful fucking evening, because it cracks me up that you stayed the entire show. So
They really
I'm
did.
glad.
2 hours and 7 minutes.
Like that's 2 hours and 7 minutes you'll never get back of your life. So I really thank you, and come back. We're here every Friday. For those of you who are brand new to the show, like, subscribe, and hit the notifications. Here at Hold the Mic, we'd like to actually break down actual real conversations. But if you want to troll us, by all means, we have fun with it too. Come on over.
Oh,
We'll be your Huckleberry.
and Kaylin said it was nice to meet Robbie.
Hey,
Yeah.
thank you. Is it Kaylin? Thank you, Kaylin. I just also want to say, I just had COVID again, and
Oh.
it was not detectable on any of the tests. But I know the symptoms. I've gone through it, unfortunately, a few times, and so just be safe out there,
Yeah.
because it's still around, and this one sucks. This one absolutely sucks. All right. Thank you guys so much for this opportunity. I had a great time talking to you both.
Yes.
And Ryan, I've missed you.
I've missed you too, brother. Seriously. And so and Robbie will have a book coming out soon that I've been watching him prep for. So be on the lookout for that too. And next time he has something going on, he'll come on the show and tell us about it.
For sure.
And so as always, guys, much love. Keep fighting. Stay safe out there, and we will see you next.